Good evening everybody and welcome to the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. It's the final rounds of the Winter Series from the Twin Ring Motegi circuit in Japan. It's Andrew Woodhouse with Alex Simpson and Adam Bath here for the final event of the season. And Alex, my friend, it's going to be an absolutely cracking meeting with Jamie Fluke and David Baker fighting over the title.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. Just, the one race meeting left, and we're on an oval, so anything can go, anything can happen. Who knows what can happen? Two drivers, like you say, up for it. Just have a quick look at the standings while qualifying goes on in the background. So 210 points separates the two leaders at the moment. Jamie Fluke really just needs to finish all the races tonight and he'll pretty much lock it down. Smolensky's in third, 407 points behind. He is out of the chance of winning, but can still of course get that podium. He's closely followed by Ben Hackerson and Union Janowski. Richard Gore up into sixth place after last week's race, followed by Kip Stevens, Dan Craft, Rob Plumley. Kaiser is in 10th, Pete Newman, and then Simon Field round out your top 12. Looking at the AM standings, Richard Gore is leading that by 107 points, so it's not going to be all his way by any means. Robert Plumley could have certainly a good run at it today, and McCarran just 236 points behind as well, so potentially three drivers there that could win the championship. Steve Richardson is in fourth, Jay Wright fifth, rounding out sixth place is John Roberts. I think we're joined by Adam as well.
Evening guys, sorry I'm
Evening, Adam.
Sorry I'm a little bit late. But yeah, Twin Ring Motegi, 4 races, great way to end the season.
Of course, Andrew, you're going to do a little bit of racing tonight.
I am. I have no game sound at the moment, so I don't know what's happened. My microphone died and now I've got no game sound. I'm racing because I've got very little voice left, so
Okay.
I'm going to leave it to these two fine gentlemen to call the action, but I'm sure I'll be around at some point.
Well, go and sort your game sound out, and yeah, good luck in the race, mate. We'll take it from here.
Thanks, mate.
So, Adam, final round then. You caught the point situation where we are at. I will just let you know this as well in our little private chat. So this is how everything sort of stands. If after the first race we've got a 327 point lead, then that is the championship done and dusted. So
yeah, we've got, well, at the moment we've technically got 4 drivers that can mathematically win the title then. If that's what I'm interpreting it as. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, it looks to me like for Smolensky and that the other drivers will have to DNF every single race, but
yeah,
it is possible, I suppose.
Expect the unexpected and all that, yeah, definitely. How long have we got left to qualifying? Because I'm just loading into the session now.
Well, it's over.
It's over. There you go.
I will quickly run through the qualifying results just while you're getting yourself together. Janowski takes pole position with a 37.830. Katz is in second, just a hundredth of a second behind him. Kip Stevens is third, followed by George Simmons. Jamie Fluke is fifth, and Hackerson is sixth, followed by Dan Craft and then Colin Cunniff. David Baker is in ninth. Simon Field is 10th. Lee Berridge is 11th. Alexander Smolensky is in 12th place. Rob Plumley is 13th. Laura Bond 14th. She could race a total of 300 races, I believe, tonight. And yeah, that'd be great. Richard Gore 15th, followed by Nick McCarran in 16th. Steve Hefford 17th. John Roberts is in 18th. Scott Malcolm is 19th. Jack McIntyre is in 20th. Jeroen Kaiser is 21st, Paul Smith 22nd, Pete Newman 23rd, Steve Richardson 24th, Andrew Whitehead 25th, Jason Rowe 26th. This is still only 6/10 of a second gap to the front.
Wow.
27th place is Nathaniel Simpson, Jay Wright 28th, Robert Graham is 29th. Cesaro Rizzo is in 30th place. Craig Evans is 31st. Max Wright 32nd. We've got a driver that's not on the data sheet in 33rd. Sorry, not sure who you are. Jonathan Taylor is 34th, and
That's
then Marco Mogren.
I'm the one who's not on the sheet. So there we go.
Say, where is he? Well, you got a lot to do, Mr. Woodhouse. Come on, we expect nothing less than victory in all 4 races.
Well, I'll try my best. If I turn around and go the other way around the track, that might do it. But it should be
break
should
out
be
the Andrew
interesting.
Woodhouse button.
I'm expecting a good race, I have to say. I mean, these guys are seriously quick round here, so I think you're gonna have a good battle at the front. So good luck.
Yeah, best of luck to Andrew. Good to see we're back on the oval here at Twin Ring Motegi.
Yeah, we had some good races here last time, and it's not just a conventional oval. You know, it's sort of more egg-shaped, isn't it? Well, I suppose that's what defines an oval, isn't it? Really.
Turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 very much massively wide arc in there, but 3 and 4 a lot closer, a lot tighter, a lot more camber in there as well. So, but yeah. Or if you're a road racer, turn 1 is very wide, and turn 2 is a lot tighter.
Of course, David Baker took a race victory last time we were here back in the Pro Series. And that was, in fact, his last win until we were at Road Atlanta just a week ago.
We got, unfortunately, there's calls to see Andrew's selfie car, but it's not out there today, I'm afraid, so disappointments all round.
It might be back for the Kia Club Series, which starts on the 20th of March. Sunday night, Kia's on Apex Racing TV.
Crash already at the back.
I was about to say, we've got some crashing going on out there. Mogren not having the best. What? I can't replay it, surely.
Well, that was unexpected.
Oh, we're just on board with Cats at the moment, just waiting. Pace car is stretching away.
Just not in the session yet, so I'll let you call the start, Alex.
We are away here at Twin Ring Motegi. Looks like a pretty good start from everybody. Janowski got the jump on everybody. George Simmons taking a very wide line into turn 1, loses a couple of places. I think that's Jamie Fluke up the inside as well. He's got Colin Cunniff just to the right of him. Looks good so far. Cat's just dropping back a little bit. I think Max Wright might have also been caught in that crash as well. Oh, I could just see it's a bit tasty, just a bit further back. Hackerson just a little bit loose, going into 3 for a moment.
Car's already on the apron, but Janowski looks like he's going to complete the first lap in the lead. Does he? No, it's Cat, sorry, as my timing screen refreshes as they come across the line. 3 wide into turn 1, look how close that is, and there's a little bit of contact there between Janowski and Kip Stevens, and that's going to allow Hackerson to close in on the scene as well. It's remarkably tight on the exit of turn 2, of course, because these Kia Optimus front-wheel drive, they'll be understeering tremendously.
Yeah, so just the 2 that we lost on the first lap. Everybody else pretty much tucked right up at the moment. Oh, we've got someone sliding there in the background. I'm not sure who that was. I think it might have been Rob Plumley, was it? Looks like there's a little bit of a gap just formed out between him and I think it's Lee Berridge ahead of him, so...
From memory, when we were last here, this pack did not break away at the front of the racetrack at the moment. Janowski cutting inside there. He's got a good run off turn 2, and now he's going to be side by side with race leader Andreas Katz heading into turn 3. Janowski, of course, the pole sister, trying to snatch that lead back into turn 3. He's got the inside line, and it's very difficult for you to run side by side through these last 2 corners on the racetrack, as they are completely different from turns 1 and 2. Here we come across the line to complete lap 3. We're give it potential to be 4 wide nearly there across the line. 3 wide though between Jamie Fluke, yes indeed, and Kip Stevens and Dan Kraft heading into turn 1 there.
Yeah, Fluke had a little look up the inside for a moment, but nothing coming of that, and it kind of compromised him a little bit, so he went pretty much from sort of attacking the leaders to trying to hold on to his 3rd place. Kip Stevens in his new liveried car out there, Sim Racers magazine, looks rather nice. Starting to see a few sponsors turn up for next season's Pro Series.
You can see the super cheap auto car there of George Simmons arriving on the scene as well. This pack's just right together, 2 by 2 heading through into turn 1. 25 lap race here, of course, aside from the usual 10 here. Down the inside there, that's David Baker on Dan Kraft. He's slowly working his way through. I think that's him up into his customary 6th position, I do believe. But look at that, that's Jamie Fluke going right down to the inside there, going into turn 3 down the back straight.
Yeah, not easy. It seems to me that Katz and Janowski there are just sort of covering up the track, and it's very difficult for anyone to make any sort of gain. Jamie again, just giving everybody a very wide berth. So he's trying to protect his championship while still trying to make a move for the lead. He has a look, thinks about it, pulls out again. Oh, it's very close in there at the moment. Simon Field.
Janowski gets shoved out wide by Katz. He's going to be hung out to dry. Is he going to miss the wall? He does, but that was very close, and that slowed Katz up. And now here come the rest of them. That's Jamie Fluke down the inside with help from David Baker. Almost a little bit of bump drafting going on there down into turn 1. And Janowski, he's lost a ton of ground. He's now on the outside, being hung out to dry by Darren Kraft. And is that Nathaniel Simpson as well? Or is it Simon Field? It's one of the Simpson livery cars. It is Simon Field.
Yeah, it's Field. It just goes to show how much time you can lose if you just you're up top 3 wide. Oh, Baker very loose, manages to gather it back up. He drifts up high, and Kip's going to have to bleed out as well just to avoid getting hit.
There are still cars sideways after
wide.
7 laps, Alex, at the back. It's still pretty slippery out there. If you get slightly, you know, if you try turning while on the brakes too much, you get that effect. You see all the smoke. People continuously having trouble.
It looks pretty hairy out there right now. Everybody's still just trying to find their groove. No one's really pulling away. It's so close. Plumley side by side with Smolensky as well.
Jamie Fluke to the front. He went round, swoop round the outside there with Andreas Katz, but it's not over. Katz trying to shove it back through the middle of a turn.
Baker wants to get up the inside as well.
Crazy racing here. Lap 8, 3 wide again into turn 3. Baker on the inside this time. Will that help him? Fluke, though, very confident, and Baker gets sideways, and that's going to not help Katz. Katz is now going to be slowed down, and that's going to allow Janowski back down the inside. Katz is over. And Stevens, and Field, and Simmons, and who's that as well? That is Ben Hackerson.
Oh, Jesus.
Huge incident here. Rob Plumley involved. No caution will be thrown, of course, because it's an oval, and we're not allowed to throw the caution here. Everyone going to avoid it, I think, apart from the ones involved, obviously. Andrew Woodhouse is through. Scott Malcolm's around to the back, and George Simmons, Alex, is over in the pit lane.
Come on, Woody, it's like days of thunder.
Hey, mate, it was.
I'm out of here, Harry.
I got through, but I've lost about 4 seconds. That's the problem. I can't. Now the guys in front have escaped.
Big Rex on oval, really customary here, and it's definitely spread out the pack now. We've got a breakaway here of 4 cars, and they're Jamie Fluke,
Nick. Oh, Jesus.
Julian Janowski, and Dave Baker. And it looked like, Alex, it was basically contact that unfolded between, as I get Andreas Katz back up on the timing screen, it looked like there was a bit of contact between him and, if we go on the replay, who was that? Simon Field on the outside.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if we can get it back on replay now. I might have to go a bit further back. Oh, we're just seeing the aftermath of it. Everybody everywhere at the moment. Hold on, let's go back a tiny little further so we can just see how it formed up. Because, unfortunately, it was quarter panel. It always is, but
I think where else are you going to see quarter panels than on the oval, really?
Oh, something else has gone on as well. There's just smoke everywhere.
Oh, there is a crash, and it is involving Robert Graham, so another laser source car involved. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Do you know what? There was 2 separate incidents of that as well. I think Kip Stevens also got a little tag too. So there's the one between Field and Katz, but I think Kip also got a little touch, and that just... Even if the guys had managed to survive their contact, Kip would have nailed them as well. So let's just take a quick look, focusing on Kip, and then we'll see what happened to Rob Graham after this, and we'll get back to the live action. But yeah, so Kip's got one of he just come across. I think that was Cunniff, wasn't it, on the inside? And yeah, carnage ensued. Right, Rob Graham, where is he? Let's see what happens to Rob. You can see Rob dodging his way through the traffic cars, just landing. I guess that's the way to describe it. Who else was that? I see an Apex Academy car down there. Is that Nick McCarron, or is it Richard Gore? Of course, if it's Gore, it could have... it's not Gore. Gore's still going. So
McCarron's dropped back. I saw him on my travels, so he's I don't know if he's out or what, but...
Right, let's just see. So Rob not having any issues here. I mean, he's got Paul Smith around him at the moment. Perhaps a bit of a slow run out the final turn. Gonna get a little tag somewhere.
I think it's just off the exit of turn 4 where it happens.
Yeah, so probably the end of this lap. Rizzo
Well,
just behind him, Smith, and one of the Simpson sponsored cars ahead. Not sure who that is at the time.
while this is going on, David Baker is continuing to lead at the moment. Janowski second, Kraft in third.
I think it's going to be very, very... exactly the same, very similar. Just, and then, unfortunately, foreground just gets pushed. Huge amount of smoke, but really just the one car. It was Rizzo that just caught him behind. Right, let's get back live to the action.
Right, we're on lap 14. We're just about to start lap 15, and Janowski and Fluke and Dan Kraft are battling away here on the exit of turn 4. David Baker's just started to break away just a little bit. I think that's the biggest lead we've ever seen for a leader there. Dan Kraft's almost closing down there on Janowski, trying to get the best line, and there is contact between them. Oh, and Janowski's just able to save it. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, Janowski just took a little bit too much speed in there, and they were lucky not to really collect themselves. Baker, of course, has won here before, so we know he's no slouch.
Yes, indeed, he won race 1 here. Still by side between Fluke and Kraft into turn 3 and 4. These cool temperatures though, Alex, let's just have a look at what temperatures it is. It's 19 degrees out here, so pretty chilly actually for Japan. What do you think about the tyre wear? Do you think this will become an issue?
I don't think they'll have any issues with tyre wear, to be honest. I think it's cold enough that it'll keep the tyres in, so it's just those first few laps. There we go.
I mean, I'm not going as fast as those guys at the front though, I have to say. But the tyres feel... Oh, it makes it 3 wide.
Actually, all the way through the pack.
Well, that's what Motegi brings, isn't it? We saw it last time. We saw it last season. I think that it was such an exciting race that we had.
Just having a look at this second pack as well, starting to have a little battle. That's Smolenski, Newman, Whitehead, and Richard Gore, of course. Richard needs to have a good run as well. He's trying to defend the AM Championship.
Pete Newman there as well, fighting a very battered and damaged Laser Tools car of Alex Smolenski. Smolenski on the inside. I don't know whether he must have picked up some damage in the wreck earlier in the race. And that Tiger livery car of Whitehead.
Smolenski as well, by the way, just so you know, is in the new Sim Racers magazine livery. We know you're a little late to the game, so that's why you can't see that. Come on. What else is going on out there as well? Mr. Woodhouse having a little bit of a side-by-side battle with Jonathan Taylor
yeah. Sounds very concentrated in the battle as well. Yes, he is. He's on the inside, and he's through. Next on his list is Cesare Rizzo, and then Paul Smith. And this battle's very close, in fact, and Woodhouse got a very good run off the corner there. Coming down the front straight, Rizzo has got plans of his own on trying to get past Paul Smith. And he's going for it down the inside into turn 1, lap 18 here, so just under 8 laps to go. Woodhouse will try and get it on the inside for the exit of turn 2. Might be able to take Paul Smith as well, but Rizzo and Smith there. Paul Smith got a fantastic run on the higher line, and now Rizzo's got to fend off attacks from both sides, because Woodhouse is going to go and get them both down the inside into turn 3 and 4, and he's going to make the corner just... Yes, he is. And that's fantastic there for Andrew Woodhouse, up to, what is that now, 15th place.
Oh, they're hitting each other, they've gone.
Oh, they're off, they're both off. Paul Smith and Cesare Rizzo, Alex.
Yeah, we just saw the aftermath of it. We just literally flicked away because the lead battle's starting to hot up again now as well. Baker just out front by 0.2 of a second.
They're doing a very good job here, the cars behind.
Single file at the moment as well, so, well, I say that just as Janowski takes another little look at Fluke. He's up the inside going into turn 1 this time.
Luke, of course, who was fastest in qualifying, he knows what to do. And he wants to get it done here, because I think he knows that he's probably one of the quickest cars on the racetrack, along with David Baker. And he's down the inside of Fluke now. Is he going to be clear on the exit, though? That seems to be the thing we've been noticing as the race continues. You've got the run on the inside through the entry of the corner, but on the exit you start to suffer, and he's now likely to be overtaken on the outside by Jamie Fluke. However, I think he should just have the upper hand there. Just maybe? No? Yes.
Yep.
And that's him through, but Jamie Fluke will try and get the cutback, Alex.
He instantly has his nose alongside. While these two are battling, they can't quite get back up to Baker. Baker's just keeping an eye on this, and you know, more of the same as far as he's concerned. He'll take a few point gain advantage in the first race on Jamie, I'm sure, and just hope that, you know, that DNF or something like that happens in the next race. It's going to take something pretty big, I think, for him to get back up to Jamie. So all he needs to do is exactly what he's doing right now, just try and bag as many points in every single race as he can.
Well, let's have a look at the lap times as they come across the line to complete lap 21. Baker out on his own, of course. He's just set a lap time of 38.5. Jamie Fluke 3 times quicker, and in fact they've just closed in a little bit on David Baker the last lap, and Julian Janowski 38.5, that was the same as David Baker. But yeah, we've actually got a lead battle, a real lead battle now on our hands, because Baker has just slowed a few tenths in the last lap, and now Fluke's going for it. Down the inside he goes into turn 3. That's very opportunistic there from Jamie Fluke. He's not going to be alongside just, but Baker's car is all out of shape there on the entry into turn 3. We're coming around to the closing stages of this race, and now Fluke is alongside David Baker for the lead.
Yeah, don't count out Kraft as well. I feel like he's being quite patient there. Fluke up the inside though. They're going to be side by side through 1 and 2. Of course, this first corner very, very wide open, and drivers be feeding that throttle in really early as well. So carrying the outside line, using the extra camber, should mean you get a fairly decent run. Janowski looks like he's got a great run off the corner as well though. Jamie's having to go almost defensive. Janowski throwing it up the inside, carries a bit of speed in there, and Kraft is on the outside.
It's not a move you see with just over 2 laps to go. That's usually a move you see on the last lap, and let's see what's going to happen now. We're on to the penultimate lap of the race here, lap 24 of 25. Jamie Fluke on the outside, David Baker on the inside. Fluke's going to try and get the line into turn 1. Baker's going to be trying pinned down on the inside, and Janowski's just picking which car to try and follow and get the best run. And in fact, he gets a little bit of a tap there from Dan Kraft, and that's going to spoil Kraft's run, or maybe not. They're going to be 2 by 2 down the back straight into turns 3 and 4. Janowski just a bit too far back to get in the action, or maybe not. He's going to be late on the brakes, of course. Janowski into turn 3. Baker trying to shove Fluke out wide, and I think he's got that mission accomplished there, because Fluke is almost out on the marbles, and he's going to be into the wall. No, he's not. He's back, but we're coming to the white flag, and now Baker's restored just a little bit of an advantage. 2 tenths isn't a lot, but it's enough here at Twin Ring Motegi.
I don't think so. Just looking at that, he's already right back on his tail as well, and it looks like the friction racing car of Dan Kraft has got himself clearing into third, and that's
Is
a great
Janowski out
run
of fuel?
It looks like he might be slowing down massively. That is it. He is out. So it's Fluke for the move on the inside.
Oh, this is Baker's sliding it in, and he's going to be nudged wide. Fluke on the inside, and here comes Kraft to try and take second away from Baker. Baker just got out of shape through turns.
It's not
3.
over.
Was it contact? I don't know, but anyway, Jamie Fluke is going to come across the line and take the victory in race 1 here at Twin Ring Motegi. David Baker led the most significant portion of the race, but Jamie Fluke, in a last-ditch move in turns 3 and 4, managed to take the win, Alex.
Yeah, great race there as well between those 4. I mean, it was a great race all on from the start. We had so many good, clean laps there as well, and yeah, unfortunately, just with the oval the way it is, you know, you have an accident like that, it's just always going to get rid of so many drivers all at once, and yeah, it was unfortunate. But what a great race after that as well. So those 4 or 5 drivers really just, you know, picking and waiting for to make the move. Janowski, unfortunately, yeah, just ran out of fuel as well. Otherwise, I think he'd have had a good shot at it. He looked very, very quick. He was way down in like 6th or 7th at one point.
Just looking at it back, there was no contact really involved with Fluke and Baker. Baker just got out of shape on his own through turns going into turn 3, and that's what allowed Fluke through to take the win. David Baker, though, 9th to 2nd, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that. And I do apologise for giving the curse of the commentator, saying he had a bit of an advantage going into that final lap of the race. Andrew Woodhouse, of course, came across the line in 15th from 33rd. Makes you miss out on the reverse grid draw, though, for the second race. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, that was exciting. It was definitely exciting. Very tough out there, but I think I've got a bit of the hang of it, so we'll see if we can't do a bit better next time.
So run you through the finishing order then from the first race of the evening here at Twin Ring Motegi. Jamie Fluke takes the win by 1/10 of a second, and I assure you we'll probably get some more closer finishes than that. over the next 3 races. Dan Craft in 3rd, Colin Cunniff in 4th. Pretty quiet race from him. I apologise. He was right with the lead pack throughout the entire race. 5th, Lee Berridge. 6th for Jack McIntyre from 20th on the grid. So great comeback through the field from him. 7th, John Roberts. 8th, Pete Newman. 9th, Sharon Kaiser. 10th, Alex Malensky. 11th, Andrew Whitehead. 12th, Richard Gore. 13th, Julian Janowski, the pole sitter, just running out of fuel, it looks like, on the final lap of the race. Nathaniel Simpson in 14th, Andrew Woodhouse in 15th. 16th, Jonathan Taylor. 17th, Jason Rowe. 18th, Jay Wright. 19th, Craig McLeod-Evans. And then the cars 1 lap down or more. Now, there were quite a few in this race. 20th was Paul Smith. 11th, Cesare Rizzo. 12th, Nick McCarron. 23rd, Max Wright. 24th, Robert Graham. 25th, Steve Hevard. 26th, Ben Hackerson. 27th, Rob Plumley. 28th, Laura Bonds. 29th, Kip Stevens. 30th, Andreas Katz. 31st, George Simmons. 32nd, Simon Field. 33rd, Scott Malcolm. 34th, Steve Richardson. And then 35th, right at the back, and that was before the race even started, was Marco Mogren. But you can see there, we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars taken out in that big wreck early on in the race, Alex.
Yeah, crazy. Exactly what we said. I mean, it was 2 separate incidents, and that's, I think, what made it even worse as well. No one, people that were directly behind, they had nowhere to go really. So I'm not surprised we lost as many as we did.
Right, let's move on then to the reverse grid. For the second race, as always, 16 down to 26, or a full reverse grid, and we'll see who's on the pole position for that. Andrew Woodhouse just misses out, however, I'm sure he'll be happy if Jonathan Taylor gets a reverse grid pole, because it means he'll be on the front row alongside him. So
All would work as well.
Yeah, or a full, definitely, especially considering those rules, because as far as we're aware, the cars that finish on the lead lap are the cars that are eligible, so that'd be 19th as well. So we'll see what happens. And the cars that are eligible are Jonathan Taylor, Jason Rowe, Jay Wright, Craig McLeod-Evans, Paul Smith, Cesario Rizzo, Nick McCarron, Max Wright, Robert Graham, Steve Hefford, and Ben Hackerson. So over to you, Alex, with the reverse grid Wheel of Fortune.
Here we go then. Who will get the pole? Sorry, Andrew, I can't rig it for you as well, mate. You're in 15th. Yeah, I'll try, but not gonna happen tonight.
We can't do the Richard Gore button again. He's finished above the reverse grid the last 9 times.
We could.
Is it 16?
We've got a full.
We got a full. Well, we'll see what the organisers do. But from our understanding of the rules, that means Craig McLeod-Evans is going on to pole position. Unfortunately, not Marco Mogren.
It should be 19th.
It should be 19th.
19th.
I'm sure Andrew Woodhouse will be very happy with that. And then second on the grid will be Jay Wright, third Jason Rowe, fourth Jonathan Taylor, and then in 5th place it will be Andrew Woodhouse. So we'll see what happens there. But let's go back to Jamie Fluke's win, Alex, race 1, and he closed in on David Baker right at the end of the race where it counts, and managed to make David Baker just make that mistake and going into turn 3.
Yeah, he just got his nose up the inside there, didn't he? Just give David something to think about. David also knows that he can't afford a DNF or anything crazy, suddenly to not be able to make it across the start-finish line because of an incident. So he's, protecting his second place as well as still trying to get the championship as well. So, yeah, I think, David's very fair there. I think he probably could have squeezed Jamie down low as well. Jamie got more to lose than what Baker had, so I'm surprised he didn't play a bit of hardball there and go, well, if you want to steam it in there, we'll have you.
Well, the last time we were on an oval in the BSR TEC, we were at Daytona International Speedway, the place where we had a finish of 0.000 seconds between Sebastian Joe and Wojciech Savinovic. Will we have the same here? We've got 3 more races still to come here, so stay with us on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and of course on Motors TV. We'll see you in a few minutes.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. It's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and every year I've come here, this being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
We've wanted to add Le Mans to iRacing for a long time, and we've really been working hard towards it for the last 5 years. But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race. So it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads. So when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph the track so that we can recreate it in iRacing. We work closely with the ACO to get essentially exclusive access to the facility and everything that we needed to get the laser scanning and photographic reference that we need to create the track. We were very fortunate to be at Le Mans at the most important time of the year and gain that experience of being there. And we're going to really do the best we can to put that into our work and making sure that the Le Mans and iRacing is the best Le Mans, the most exciting and accurate recreation of the track possible.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and of course Motors TV. This is round 34 of 36 in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship Winter Series presented by iRacing. A good first race, 1/10 of a second separating Jamie Fluke over David Baker. At the end of the race, we've got 19 cars reversed for the second race of the evening. And Alex, I think that's going to create even more great racing here because we've got the fast guys starting towards the back and having to work their way back through to the front.
Yeah, I think you're right. And when we say the fast guys as well, it's all been pretty close so far around here. But let's not forget as well, there was quite a few in that lead pack that got themselves involved in that crash at the start as well. So we're going to have two groups of quick guys trying to come through the pack, and I think that's going to make it very, very interesting.
And of course, we've got the some of the big names getting involved in a huge crash halfway through the race, and they'll be starting right at the back, down in the regions of the 30s on the grid. The likes of Simon Field, Andreas Katz, Kip Stevens as well. So they'll be having to work their way through a very big pack of angry Kia Optimas in not too long. Let's have a look then at the starting grid for the second race of the evening. Just two more to go after this, and on the pole position it is Craig McLeod-Evans, Jay Wright second, Jason Rowe third, Jonathan Taylor in fourth, Andrew Woodhouse is in fifth, Nathaniel Simpson in sixth. Woodhouse and Simpson there, 5th and 6th. 7th, Janowski. 8th, Richard Gorn. 9th, Andrew Whitehead. And 10th is Alex Malensky. 11th, Jerome Kaiser. 12th, Pete Newman. 13th, John Roberts. 14th, Jack McIntyre. 15th, it is Lee Berridge. 16th, Colin Cunniff. 17th, Dan Kraft. 18th, David Baker. 19th, our Race 1 winner, Jamie Fluke. 20th, Paul Smith. 21st, Cesare Rizzo. 22nd, Nick McCarron. 33rd, Max Wright. 34th, Robert Graham. 25th, sorry. What is it with me and my numbers? 25th, it is Steve Heffer. 26th, Ben Hackerson. 27th, Robert Plumley. 28th, Laura Bonds. 29th, Kip Stevens. 30th, Andreas Katz. 31st, George Simmons. 32nd, Simon Field. 33rd, Scott Malcolm. And 34th, starting right at the back, it is Steve Richardson.
Yeah, and just while the guys just take to the grid and do this pace lap, let's just not forget to remind everyone as well, if you're new to the series or wondering what this is all about, head over to iRacing.com. You can join the service, join the series, and there's lots of other different cars that you can race, and new tracks. 3 new cars coming out in a week's time as well. So, yeah. Head on over to iRacing.com, BritishSimRacers.com as well to join the League Series. You can sign up and get 3 months for the price of one using the promotional code PR-BSRTC. Simple wheel and pedal set will get you up and running and racing in no time. But of course, if you have a control pad, you can use that. But I can guarantee that after a few races, you'll be hooked and you'll be switching up to a wheel in no time.
Thanks very much, Alex. 25 more laps then here at Twin Ring Motegi. 2.4 kilometres here. Safety car will be peeling into the pits in a moment, and will unleash 35 Kia Optimus to get going once again. Pick for this race 2 win, Alex?
Oh, it's a tough one, actually. I think anybody could really get it there at the front. It's so difficult to sort of shake somebody off of the start, so I can't call it, and we're away.
Too close to call, and race 34 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway, and Craig McLeod-Evans got a fantastic start there. Left Jay Wright for dead, really. Jason Rowe on the inside, and Andrew Woodhouse, a man on the mission already. Round the outside of Jason Rowe, very confident in the car there. Andrew Woodhouse on the outside line as well, and he's already up into 4th place, so great start from him. Heading off at turn 2, everyone going to make it through cleanly. No one going into the concrete wall on the outside just yet, so everyone clean, and David Baker trying to work his way up the pack straight away with Paul Smith. Look at that, down to the inside, getting past Paul Smith, and is now alongside Colin Cunniff and trying to get with Dan Craft as well. So those guys already trying to work their way to the front, but round to complete the first lap, Craig McLeod-Evans continues to lead from Jay Wright in 2nd. Not as big as a gap as it was when we started the race. Andrew Woodhouse there in 3rd, Jason Rowe 4th. Julian Janowski, the man that ran out of fuel on the last lap, is a man on the mission as well. He's got Jonathan Taylor behind him, but Janowski up to 5th now.
There's nothing that ceases to amaze me every week. It's just the amount of cars we can get on there as this grid as well. So, for all these series out there that struggle with drivers, the Kia was not like the most desirable car ever to drive on iRacing, but the admins do such a great job week in, week out, and here we are with 34 cars racing around Twin Ring Motegi. Just a great sight as well.
Down into turn 1, Jay Wright going to try and take the lead away from Craig McLeod-Evans. He's going to try and hang it out round the outside. Andrew Woodhouse there in 3rd, Janowski in 4th behind him. We'll see if Woodhouse is able to fend off Janowski and for how long. Down the back straight we go. Woodhouse trying to get involved here for the lead battle. Jay Wright has got the lead, and Craig McLeod-Evans really is going to try and get back into the top 3, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to lose out to Julian Janowski, who's started in 7th place up to now the top 3 already. Andrew Woodhouse though has taken the lead of the race. That is fantastic. Andrew Woodhouse leads 4 wide though into turn 1. The Apex Racing car got out of it there. That is Richard Gore, and he's side by side with Jonathan Taylor, Jason Rowe as well involved. Nathaniel Simpson trying to get past Craig McLeod-Evans. Great racing here in the early stages, and Woodhouse is making the break for it, Alex. Or is he? Jay Wright's down the inside though, going into turn 3.
Yeah, it's really difficult to break that draft, and I think as we saw last time, there's a little bit of smoke out on track, some tyre marks there. Something must have happened a bit further back. That's Max Wright and Laura Bond, I think, would have been involved in that. They'd seem to have retired, and we've also got somebody else dropping through the standings. That's Steve Hefford into the pits. Problem for Hefford then, not sure quite what that's about, but we'll jump back up on board with Jay Wright. He's tucked up right behind Woodhouse at the moment.
Off at turn 2, 5 laps into the race, 20 to go. Julian Janowski in 3rd. The man that was fastest in qualifying in race 1 just wasn't able to get it done in race 1, of course, because he ran out of fuel on the final lap of the race. Jay Wright down the inside of Andrew Woodhouse. We'll see if Woodhouse is able to hold it out round the outside. There is grip out there, and he goes out very wide, but he will have the pace, I think, on the exit. Julian Janowski now trying to make it 3 wide, and look at that pack in the background. Jonathan Taylor getting pinched a bit there, but it looks like they've all sorted each other out. The racing started, the intensity levels are starting to increase as we get on into this race here. David Baker up to 10th place after starting in 18th. Jamie Fluke hasn't worked his way up as quickly as David Baker. He's behind David Baker, in fact, the season 7 champion, so wants to get up there as quick as he can. Back at the front though, Janowski down the inside of Woodhouse. Woodhouse will try and hang it out around the outside once again, the 2nd lap in a row in which he's done it, and now he's got Nathaniel Simpson, Janowski, for company behind him, Alex.
Yeah, Nathaniel's looked quite quick as well. Jay Wright in there. Smolensky coming up strong as well. I think I couldn't make a decision earlier on, and I tell you what, we're only 19 laps to go. I still can't make a decision who's going to get this. This pack behind is slowly closing in as well. It's just becoming very, very tight in there at the moment. And there's just cars everywhere. You have to say the Kia does work really well on this circuit as well. As far as it goes as oval, with 3 wide just on screen at the moment as well. You can run so many different lines with this car through this circuit. It just makes the racing so exciting.
That's complete another lap. I heard a little bit of contact there. Don't know who it was involving. It was probably someone at the front. 3 wide into turn 1 there. Nathaniel Simpson trying to get involved. Janowski's got the lead. Andrew Woodhouse is trying to go around the outside. He's trying to make it work. We haven't seen it work through turns 1 and 2 just yet. And he's going to lose a position to Richard Gore, is he? He's still got the run on the outside, and he's got, who's that for company behind him? That is Alex Smolensky there in that new Sim Racers livery. And David Baker's going to lunge down the inside into turn 3. Baker's now about to crack the top 5. There is some tyre smoke though. Who's that, Alex?
Simpson, I think. We were on board with him at just as he went into the final turn there, and he was all sorts of out of shape, and that's Richard Gore being squeezed by Janowski. Janowski going very defensive. He couldn't quite keep Gore from getting up the inside, although he got a great run and has managed to whip around the outside there.
Andrew Woodhouse right in the middle of this here, out off of turn 2. Richard Gore trying to get involved, and Gore nearly pinches Andrew Woodhouse up high there. Simpson battling away with Janowski. Janowski desperate to hold on to the lead. Janowski is on the outside, and on the inside of Simpson. He's going to try and get the lead. He's hard on the brakes into turn 3. He's got the line on entry, but on the exit you just see there Janowski gets the speed. Andrew Woodhouse following him there, and Andrew Woodhouse being pretty wise, because Janowski of course has been very quick. And who's that in the purple liveried Eurochip digital car? Number 76, Jerome Kaiser, the man that won by 1,000th of a second back at Silverstone earlier in the season. So just one of the many highlights of this Winter Series. He's now up into 3rd place. He's come out of nowhere really, Alex.
Yeah, and he was saying he was struggling with pace off camera, off air a moment ago. Got the fastest lap of the race last time, of course, and doesn't look like he's struggling too much out there right now. Into 2nd place he goes. Woodhouse throwing it in as well. We've got Gore around the outside of Dan Craft, and of course Jamie Fluke and David Baker are going at it again, tucked up right behind each other at the moment. So we've got the potential pro champions mixing it around the AM champion at the moment as well. So these guys are all trying to race hard, but they don't want to have any accidents either.
Kaiser to the lead, and there was a bit of a crisscross going on there, because Janowski, who was on the outside, has now cut back to the inside and will try and take the lead back going into turn 3. And Simpson now trying to join in as well. He was battling for the lead earlier. Tyre smoke as well. One of the cars at the front getting sideways, and just look at that, heading into turn 3, everyone's able to bunch up once again. That's how it works here at Twin Ring Motegi. Alex Smolensky trying to get past David Baker as well. These two are just these 3 are forging a line to the front. Dan Craft desperate tried to try and get past Andrew Woodhouse as well, and Jamie Fluke is now down the inside of Woodhouse as well. Fluke up to 4th after starting 19th. That's how quick these guys have got to the front. It's only taken them half the race to do so.
Yeah, I mean, Katz is in 15th. Of course, he was retired after the accident, and I say 15th, only 1.7 seconds behind the lead, so he's still very much in contention, and Fluke just taps Simpson there going into turn 3.
Baker and Kraft had a little bit of contact there as well, and just when you think the cars on the outside are completely out of it heading into turn 3, they appear out of nowhere. I was just about to say that Andrew Woodhouse looked like he might be dropping back, but then he just comes back right into the scene. And Kaiser around the outside of Simpson, and Fluke now down the inside. He's up to 2nd, but Kaiser might have something to say about that on the outside. We'll see the run that Kaiser will get. Here he goes. He gets propelled there off of turn 2, and he's going to try and wrestle 2nd place back.
Gets the draft as well off Janowski. Yeah. Janowski came up high, so that allowed Kaiser to get that run. That looked a bit close to call there. Andrew manages to survive. There's a crash further back. I think that's Katz again. It is. Katz and Simon Field again.
Both go involved in crashes in race 1.
Exactly the same. Field just about gets his car down and off the circuit.
Baker and Kaiser nearly came to blows in turns 1 and 2. They're very close there, and Baker had to get onto the apron almost, and Fluke is now going to try and take the lead. He won race 1, Jamie Fluke, and Janowski might have something to say about that. Janowski's been very quick around here. Jamie Fluke down the inside into turn 1. We've just got past halfway in the race. Kaiser trying to get the inside line there, but he's got a car with David Baker at the wheel trying to stop him. Off of turn 4, and the other 2 cars in this pack are Dan Craft and who's that? Another one of the Pete Newman cars, and the new livery Pete Newman car of Nathaniel Simpson, of course.
Yeah, Smolensky's still doing well. Colin Cunniff McIntyre are in there. Gore's still in 10th place. Where is Plumley? Plumley needs to get up to Gore. He's about 4 seconds back in this sort of second group. They're still all connected, so there's the potential. Although it looks like he's just making a move on Jay Wright as well. There is 2 groups now started to form. So yeah, Plumley not where he needs to be. He needs to get up to Gore and gain some points if he's going to have anything. Oh, there's massive smoke ahead. What was that all about?
Couldn't see anyone sliding in the main pack really. It might have been Kip. I don't know. It might be Kip Stevens, but yeah, bit of tyre smoke there. We've seen that a lot in turn 3.
Baker up the inside of Janowski. Janowski didn't want any of that. Keeps closing the gap down as well. He's not letting him have the room off there. That'll be a poor run for Baker, and you can see Kraft instantly around the outside using the slipstream of the 2 cars ahead of him. We've got Kaiser and look on the inside of Baker as well. They're 3 wide going into the final turn.
Oh no, and Kaiser hits Baker.
Somehow Baker holds on to that. That's great driving.
Baker, who's been sideways through there a couple of times tonight in both races, getting that as well, and he's lost a few places now, down to 6th place, David Baker. He's got Jack McIntyre coming around the outside, Fluke and Janowski going at it. For a 4 wide
into turn 1 there for a split second. They filter themselves down to 3 and then to 2.
Sorted each other out. Kaiser as well down a few positions as a result of that contact with David Baker. He's got Colin Cunniff behind him. Look at Cunniff there trying to change lanes drastically to try and get that position. 4 wide nearly into turn 3 there with the other Apex car of who's that? That's Richard Gore.
Simpson's out wide as well. Something went on there. We saw a puff of smoke. Guess he just got the line a little wrong there. Tucks in behind Baker. Janowski and Fluke are not quite side by side, but I think they're going to be by the time they come out of turn 1 and 2. Kraft again just waiting, poised to try and make a move. Last few laps of this race.
Off of turn 2 then. Lap 18 of 25. Kraft is trying to go around the outside, but Janowski forcing him almost into the wall. I don't know if he made any contact with it, but it was very close. Heading into turn 3. Janowski not able to get down the inside of Fluke. Kraft in 3rd, Baker coming back up, he's up into 4th, and Nathaniel Simpson out wide once again through turns 3 and 4. He's going to come back on just behind Jerome Kaiser and turns Kaiser. We've had the same incident once again. And one of the other Pete Newman Media cars involves Richard Gore, Robert Plumley, Jason Rowe gets a car flying off him. One of the eye-glazing cars as well, so few cars involved there. Jerome Kaiser, it happened to his teammate Andreas Katz in race 1, and it's happened to him in race 2, Alex.
And that's of course huge for Gore as well, because I think Rob Plumley has made it through. No, he's not. Rob was out as well, so both the YAM drivers, so I don't think Nick McCarron's going to be able to do anything either, so as far as the YAM class goes, that's still completely on after that as well.
It's happened once again. It happened at a similar lap in race 1. It's happened in race 2. That big one off of turn 4, and it's typical quarter panel. 3 wide into turn 1 though on lap 20. Janowski and Dan Kraft. Janowski's lost 2 positions there to Dan Kraft and to David Baker. Off of turn 2, Janowski's going to try and get it on the inside, but of course, and it blocks Kraft off superbly there to stop Kraft's run on the outside. Jack McIntyre as well up in the top 5. Fantastic from him. Into turns 3 and 4. Jamie Fluke not able to get away from them. We'll see what the lap times are like this time. David Baker, of course, will look to get that win and take it away from Jamie Fluke after he lost it in the final few corners in race 1. On to lap 21 of the race. Fantastic race here. George Simmons up to 8th. Lee Berridge in 9th. Kip Stevens rounding out the top 10. Andrew Woodhouse, by the way, is in 11th place.
Yeah, Woodhouse managed to survive the chaos that was out there as well. We lost a few people. Looks like Pete Newman, Katz, Field. So just 3 cars went that time. So not as bad as the first race. Much later on, there was a little bit of field spread, but not a huge amount. Here comes Janowski up the inside of Baker. Oh,
Baker sideways again.
Baker
gets a tap. Janowski by Dan Kraft, and Jamie Fluke's going to sweep around the outside there of Janowski. Baker did not get a good run into turns 3 and 4, and Jamie Fluke might be about to take advantage. Let's have a look at the gap as they came across the line there. 1,000th of a second between Jamie Fluke and Baker, and if it was the checkered flag, it would have been Jamie Fluke taking the win. But we've got just 4 laps, under 4 laps to go, 3.5 laps in fact, as we head off of turn 2. Baker and Fluke side by side again in the background. Dan Kraft side by side with Janowski, and Colin Cunniff side by side with Jack McIntyre, and Alex Malensky joining in as well. Janowski bump drafting Baker down the back straight there into turns 3 and 4. Jamie Fluke round the outside. Will he be able to hold on from there? Baker will have the run on the entry into turn 4, but on the exit we'll see the run that Fluke gets. We'll have a look at the split times this time as they come across the line. Who would win it this time? It would be David Baker by 52 1,000ths of a second. We're starting to see the fine margins of racing on an oval, and some fantastic racing, some of the best we've seen all season in the BSR TC. We've got 2.5 laps to go, 2 by 2 off of turn 2, Alex.
Yeah, this is what I just don't know who's. Oh, Janowski had to jink to the left as Kraft moves out and goes for a move. Kraft, I told you, he'd been waiting nice and patiently, and up the inside gets himself into second place. Can't quite hold it down there though. We'll get the draft, of course, of Fluke this time. Maybe he'll carry the momentum. No.
Enter Dan Kraft from stage left. We saw this 2 by 2 style of racing back at Silverstone, and we had a 1,000th of a finish there. 2 laps to go, or less than 2 laps to go as we head onto the back straight. David Baker has just dropped back a little bit from Jamie Fluke. He needs to close back up. I'm sure he will by the time we get to the checkered flag, but he's got Dan Kraft for company and Julian Janowski on the outside. Jamie Fluke 0.2 of a second in front. We'll see if Baker's able to close that back up by the time we get to line for the white flag. Kraft down the inside then of Julian Janowski. Janowski going to try and get it back on the outside, and now the Friction Racing teammate of Colin Cunniff starting to appear on the scene. White flag in the air then. Final lap of race 34-36 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, powered by iRacing, through turns 1 and 2. Kraft now trying to fend off his teammates. It looks like it's going to be between Baker and Jamie Fluke for the win. We'll see if Baker can get the run off turn 2. He has. Jamie Fluke going to the inside to try and defend that line because he knows how superior it is, especially on the inside through turns 3 and 4. Baker's going to try and sweep around the outside. They make contact. Julian Janowski's now going to go around the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done, but here we go off of turn 3 and turn 4. Jamie Fluke took the win in race 1, and he's going to do it again. Jamie Fluke's going to take the victory in race 34 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Second for Janowski. There's a crash in the background. Alex Malensky is around. Dan Kraft in third, Colin Cunniff in fourth. David Baker in the end dropped down to his customary 6th place by the end there. What a final lap, Alex.
Yeah, great final lap there as well. Should we just watch that back again? A few drivers coming across. Just want to have a look. Jamie going very defensive really early on. He knew he needed to vend that, and Baker threw so much speed into the final turn there as well, and just didn't quite pay off. Let's take a look at it again. Here we go. Yeah, so coming out of turn 2. Got a great run, did Baker. Jamie knew that as well. Instantly went to cover it as well. And Baker squeezing a little bit, brings it up a little bit higher, just in the middle of the track, throws so much speed in. And I have to say, it's nothing but a racing incident. Jamie was low. Baker tried to pin him down low, and they just came together slightly. It was good job. It was door to door, really. Both cars survived.
And then George Simmons takes out Smolenski there coming across the line. But yeah, and what a finish to race 2. Pretty close there. It wasn't as close as race 1, in fact, but we did see, though, the final few laps, how close it could be in the final 2 races of tonight. Well, we've got to calm down after that blimey. Jamie Fluke then takes the victory. He won race 1 and he takes his 2nd win of the evening. We'll see what that does to the point situation, in fact, because
it's going to be close now.
I think
it's going to be really close. We're looking at a 2:18 gap, aren't we?
And
I think that might well have done it. We'll have to get confirmation. We'll have to wait for the points to be updated before we confirm it. But that result there might well have confirmed as Jamie Fluke as the BSRTC Winter Series champion. But like I say, let's wait until the tables are updated before we can confirm it one way or the other, because it's still very, very close.
Fluke was able to increase his lead on Baker by 5 points after race 1. Of course, we don't know what happens in terms of fastest laps and safest drivers. There's so many bonus points in the BSRTC. We'll see what that does, though. Julian Janowski takes 2nd place after running out of fuel in race 1. That is a good finish from him after starting in 7th. 3rd for Dan Kraft, 4th for Colin Cunniff, 5th for Alex Malensky, David Baker in 6th, George Simmons 7th from 31st, 8th Jack McIntyre, 9th Kip Stevens, 10th Lee Berridge, 11th Andrew Woodhouse. He was in the fray for a good half of the race, just ended up losing grounds, but was able to get back up to 11th. 12th for Jason Rowe, 13th Andrew Whitehead, 14th Steve Richardson from 34th on the grid. He started stone dead last, Steve Richardson, and was able to get up to within the top 15 by the end. Ben Hackerson 15th, 16th Scott Malcolm, 17th Jay Wright, 18th Jonathan Taylor, 19th Nick McCarron, and 20th Paul Smith after he started 20th. 11th, the pole, 21st, sorry, is Craig McLeod Evans, the pole sitter. 22nd, Cesare Rizzo, and in the cars 1 lap down or more. Richard Gore, Rob Plumley, Jerome Kaiser in 25th, 26th John Roberts, 27th Steve Hefford, 28th Nathaniel Simpson, 29th Pete Newman, 30th Rob Graham, 31st Andreas Katz, 32nd Simon Fields, those two involved in a crash early on, and then 33rd and 34th Laura Bond and Max Wright, respectively. We'll see if is Andrew Woodhouse available for a quick word just to get a debrief on his race. How was it for you? It looked like you were in the lead for a few laps.
Yeah, it was a bit scary out there, I've got to say. It's tricky when there's so many people. I mean, we've said all along when we've been commentating on these races that, you know, sometimes you get out of line and you can't get back in. That's what I found the problem there. It wasn't that the first half of the race my car was quite quick, but I was catching people in the wrong part of the corner, and but then I just couldn't. I think I shot my tyres a little bit, and then I got some damage in a little contact later on, and then that pretty much did for the pace for the rest of the race. But I'm not as quick as these guys out there, so it was good to lead a few laps.
Right, let's talk about the reverse grids. Adam, who's up for it this time?
Yep, 16 down to 26 as always, or a full, which this time will be 22nd. So Cesare Rizzo could benefit from that. Let's have a look. Scott Malcolm, Jay Wright, Jonathan Taylor, Nick McCarron, Paul Smith, Craig McLeod Evans, Cesare Rizzo, Richard Gore, Rob Plumley, Jerome Kaiser, and John Roberts are the cars that are eligible for the reverse grid pole for race 35 of the season, race 3 on the night, Alex.
Here we go then for the second time of the night. Who is going to get that?
It was a full last time.
Going to be close, but it's not quite going to make it. I think we're looking at 20th. We are indeed. That's no, we're going to make full. Yeah, 20th place.
Paul Smith goes on to pole position then for the third race of the evening. Nick McCarron second, Jonathan Taylor third, Jay Wright in fourth. Scott Malcolm will be in fifth place. Mr. Woodhouse, thoughts on that? You'll be starting in 11th place.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's where I finished, so I'm quite happy with that. But I'm going to try and take a bit better care of my tyres this time and see if we can't have a better pace at the end of the race. I'm pleased for Jamie though. If he has managed to wrap the championship up, he's definitely deserved it. But again, it's not. I don't think it's completely done and dusted. But we'll have to. Like I say, we'll get confirmation of that for the next round.
I apologise, he's starting 9th, so
ninth. Oh,
inside the top 10 for this third race of the evening. So yeah, the point standings haven't been updated yet.
I'll try not to ruin your favourite stat again, like I did this time. I'm sorry.
Right, okay, no problem. Right then,
Baker finished 6th again, though. So
yeah,
positives in everything, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so every cloud after making that mistake after having a bit of contact with Jamie Fluke through turns 3 and 4, he was able to drop down to 6th place. Right then, we'll step aside for just a few moments. We'll update you, of course, on the Pro and Pro-Am standings when we come back. Just 2 races to go in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship Winter Series presented by iRacing. Stay with us on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and on Motors TV. We're back for more British Sim Racers Touring Car powered by iRacing action here at Twin Ring Motegi. This is race 35 of 36 of the season. It is race 3 on the night. And we've just looked at the standings during the commercial break, and we've just seen that Jamie Fluke is the Winter Series champion. 231 points ahead of David Baker. That is too much for Baker to get back to Jamie Fluke, and he is the champion. And Alex Simpson, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, just great season from Jamie. Just in the middle of the season, he just didn't really put a foot wrong, really just kept clocking up those points, and we talked about that all through the season, and that's really what gets the champions, those drivers that can finish the most amount of races in reasonable positions. The consistency just pays out in this series, and Jamie did that. Speaking to him off air, he wanted to get a few more wins and they didn't come in the middle, but really it was the middle of the season that won him. And tonight he's having a whole lot of fun out there, him and David really going at it. And I think now that the championship is over, because Baker's locked in second place as well, these two are just going to have an absolute blast in this final race. But as far as the AM championship, of course, that's not over and done with. We need I think, was it Richard just needs to finish the race, yep. And he's locked in. But if he doesn't finish, then Rob Plumley needs 10th place or better to keep the championship alive. So we'll keep an eye on that one throughout this race.
Cars heading off at pit road then. Let's have a look at the starting grid for the third race of the evening. Paul Smith is on pole position. Nick McCarron is in second. Third, Jonathan Taylor. Fourth, Jay Wright. Fifth, Scott Malcolm. Sixth, Ben Hackerson. Seventh, Steve Richardson. Eighth, it is Andrew Whitehead. 9th, Jason Rowe. 10th, it is Andrew Woodhouse. So it turns out I still can't count. He's in 10th. 11th is Lee Berridge. 12th, Kip Stevens. 13th, Jack McIntyre. 14th, George Simmons. 15th, David Baker. 16th, Alex Smolensky. 17th, Colin Cunniff. 18th, Dan Kraft. 19th, Julian Janowski. 20th, it is Jamie Fluke. It took Fluke half the race to get to the lead. We'll see how long it takes him this time. 21st is Craig McLeod-Evans. 22nd, Cesare Rizzo. Richard Gore 23rd, Rob Plumley 24th, 25th Sharon Kaiser, 26th John Roberts, 27th Steve Hefford, 28th Nathaniel Simpson, 29th is Pete Newman, 30th Rob Graham, 31st Simon Field, 32nd Laura Bond, and starting at the back in 33rd it is Max Wright.
Who's your pick then for this one? I'll lay that on you this time.
Yeah, I'm going to say Hackerson. But knowing me, I'm sure that the guys like Baker and Jamie Fluke will surely be back by the end of the race. So we'll see what happens. Race 35 in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Winter Series powered by iRacing is underway.
Yeah, good start from Paul. Wasn't tardy or anything like that. So goes into the first corner. Just waiting for the standings to catch up. Where he is, there we go. But yeah, Nick McCarron in second as well. Hackerson third. So good start from your pick there. They look pretty tasty a little bit further back. Someone with a slow run out of turn 2. Not sure who that is. It might have been. It's not McIntyre. Oh, a lot of smoke again going into turn 3.
One of the Eurochip digital cars, I think, was sideways, but they've been able to sort it out. Coming across then to complete the first lap. Not often the first lap is the calmest of them all, but that's what it's like here on the oval racing. Straight away, Paul Smith coming under pressure from McCarron. McCarron trying to go to the inside, but Ben Hackerson trying to get it done on the outside, of course. Around the outside, we'll see where he can get a run on the exit. Working his way through the pack already. Is that 74 Laser Tools car? That is Scott Malcolm. Malcolm, who was involved in an incident in race 1, the big crash that happened on the front straight. He's fighting his way through. He's up to 4th place now, trying to go around the outside of Jonathan Taylor. Positions elsewhere through the pack. Janowski and Simmons are battling, and a change at the front because McCarron has got past Paul Smith, and Hackerson's going to try and follow him through down the front straight. But in the background, we've got some brilliant free wide action just to keep an eye on that. Great packs in this early start of the race. Hackerson down the inside past Smith, and he might try and get past McCarron here, Alex.
Yeah, McCarron got a great run through the middle of the corner though. I think he'll carry the most speed off. Certainly looks like that as well, and with Smith just tucked up behind him, they should be able to at least, I thought they would have gone into turn 3 at least side by side there, and actually it was Hackerson that had the slight advantage.
For turn 4 then, Hackerson is to the lead. He's clear of Nick McCarron. In 3rd place it is Scott Malcolm. He's just got past Paul Smith, who's dropped down to 4th. Smith will try and get it back into turn 1. He's still just alongside. We'll see how good this outside line is in the third race of the evening. Not good enough for Paul Smith to try and get back alongside Scott Malcolm. So Paul Smith down to 4th and Andrew Whitehead now in 5th. Jonathan Taylor in 6th. Jay Wright trying to get past Taylor. He's in 7th, and he's got who's that behind him? Lee Berridge, who's trying to get past Jay Wright as well. Then Andrew Woodhouse there in that dial-up livery.
It's like Colin kind of side by side with Kaiser as well. So 17th and 18th place at the moment.
2x2 hit.
Oh, and who was that?
David Baker.
Was that Baker? Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get past Andrew Woodhouse into turn 1. It looks like battle over 9th and 10th. Kip Stevens battling away with Steve Richardson. Kip Stevens in that Sim Racer livery car for the new Pro Series, which starts in just a few weeks. 3 wide here. Andrew Woodhouse, Lee Berridge and David Baker. Baker already working his way through the pack. Down the inside he goes. Started 14th here. Smoke up in front of them. I don't know who that was. Jay Wright there trying to get past and has got past Jonathan Taylor. At the front it's still Ben Hackerson. Scott Malcolm trying to get past Nick McCurran. He's side by side with him. Berridge trying to get past Woodhouse along with David Baker into turn 1. Woodhouse on the outside. Berridge down in the 9th place. Woodhouse in 10th. Off of turn 2. Baker now trying to escape. Woodhouse battling there. Jonathan Taylor as well. Yep.
Berridge was very early on the gas there and almost put himself into the wall, but still got a pretty good run, tucked up behind Jonathan Taylor. Now trying to go around the outside and gets a little shove out wide. Andrew dropped down a couple more places. It's getting pretty tough out there right now.
Across the line then, Woodhouse, down to 13th place after starting in 10th. Andrew was saying how crazy the racing is here on the oval. Side by side, the racing continues between Ben Hackerson and Nick McCarran. Paul Smith and Jay Wright going side by side as well. So plenty of battles at the moment. McCarran still trying to get it back from Smith, who's using a very high line. From Hackerson, who's running a very high line down the back straight. Is able to get though clear heading into turn 3. Scott Malcolm is still in 3rd. Andrew Whitehead 4th. David Baker now up to 5th place. So fantastic race through the fields here from David Baker. 6th Jay Wright, 7th Lee Berridge, 8th is now George Simmons, and Smith now tumbling down the order to 9th. Janowski's about to get past him. Got an Apex Racing Academy car fighting their way through as well. That is Jamie Fluke.
Let's just quickly check in where Richard Gore is. He is way down in 30th place at the moment, but of course that's all he needs. Where is Rob Plumley? He's only 24th, so Rob needs to pick up a lot of places, and there's quite a gap actually ahead of him right now. So
Rob Plumley, of course, got involved in a wrecking race too, so he was at a disadvantage as well. What's going on?
That's right in that sort of hand battle as well. Thought for a minute it was Nathaniel Simpson there, just getting a little bit out of shape. Manages to collect it back up, but this battle. Like I say, this is not good for Rob at all. It's 2.3 seconds behind 23rd place. So for him to get 10th place, I can see that being almost impossible from here now.
Well, there was a crash for a second, and I heard a bit of crash noises. But look at this.
Oh, this is very tight.
Paul Smith, Woodhouse, and McIntyre with a very damaged Eurochip digital card there. Who's that? That's Jerome Kaiser, who was involved in a crash in race 2. Trying to squeeze it down the inside of McIntyre, and he gets on the brakes there. He was in a gap that was just closing. And Smith gets turned by Kaiser. And Kaiser is out again. I don't think it was any of Kaiser's doing. I think Smith just got turned into him. But another crash for Jerome Kaiser. 2 races in a row.
Well, and Smith as well, because he was out in the first one as well. So he's not going to be a happy bunny.
That's starting on the pole as well. Andrew Woodhouse side by side with Dan Craft and another Matrix livery car of Jonathan Taylor. Contact and Woodhouse gets hit.
Just having a look. We'll switch up to that. Just having a look at what happened there. I hate to say it, but I just think they just weren't aware of what was going on around them there. They drifted into each other. Pretty standard. What can I say? Can't say anything more than that on that one. Sorry, guys.
David Baker has took the lead also away from Ben Hackerson. These two are out on their own at the moment. Scott Malcolm in 3rd, Whitehead 4th, Fluke in 5th. Just looking back at what happened to Andrew Woodhouse's.
He's still going, but which is fortunate. But he got hit just at the right places to continue. Actually.
Yeah.
Right, back live.
On to lap 13, past the halfway mark. Jamie Fluke is up to 4th. He's just going 3 wide with Andrew Whitehead and Julian Janowski going into turn 1. He's now got Scott Malcolm in front of him, and that will be the podium for Jamie Fluke. Of course, looking at drivers that have taken 3 wins in a night, Sebastian Joe, the only man to do that, and that was back at Suzuka, back in the Pro Series. Jamie Fluke getting pushed, bump drafted there down the back straight, trying to get past Scott Malcolm into turn 3. Oh, very close there. Malcolm managing to hold on that middle lane, getting forced out wide just a little bit there. 2x2 down the front straight.
They're just about in the draft range as well, so if they can get clear of Malcolm this time, then they might be able to go after Baker and Hackison, but it's going to be difficult, and I think Janowski's going to have to be patient with Jamie. They're going to have to work together to ensure that they don't lose the draft completely, so 9/10 of a second is the gap. Got George Simmons as well trying to come up strong. He'll want a piece of the action straight away.
These two
in the chat. Yeah, what can he say? 2 races tonight. He's not happy. Oh,
Simmons
Janowski a little bit out of shape. Simmons having a look. That's exactly what they needed to. Well, for Jamie, for them to be able to tuck in. Still 8/10 of a second back. Gap is coming down. Sorry, Adam, keep talking.
No, it's fine. These two are battling in race 1, and we were saying there how it was going to affect them trying to get to David Baker, and it happened in the end, and Jamie Fluke was able to get the win. They have got a bit of time though. They've got 12.5 laps to try and get back to Ben Hackison, who's doing a very good job at keeping with David Baker. They're lapping very similar times, and if anything, Ben Hackison was quicker than David Baker last time around. Some smoke up in front. Don't think it's anything too big, and it doesn't look like it's any of the back markers. We'll see what the lap times are. Hackison's going to get a great run off of turn 4 here. Had a very good line. Across the line we go. David Baker sets a lap time of 38.4, 38.40 though for Hackison. So 600ths quicker. He's down the inside of Baker heading into turn 1.
Yeah, this is not what Baker wants if he wanted to keep away from that sort of pack that's trying to hunt them down right now. Every time they exchange positions, they're just losing 1/10 of a second on this on the chasing group. And once again, now they're down to just half a second. They're going to fight again, and that's it. We can see Jamie's right there. So what was a 2-horse race is now 3, 4, 5 even.
Didn't take long, did it? It took less than a lap really for those 3 to close up across the line. Jamie Fluke going straight to work here, going to try and go down the inside of David Baker into turn 1. No way through there. Hackison's going to try and hang it out around the outside. They've swapped lanes from a lap ago. Last time around it was Baker on the outside, Hackison on the inside. We'll see the run that the eye-glazing car can get off of turn 2 down the straight. George Simmons trying to get the slipstream there off Hackison, and it looks like Fluke's going to try and do away with Hackison. Hackison going to try and hang it around the outside here through turns 3 and 4. We're going to start lap 17 when we get to the line. 10 laps to go. 9 laps to go across, of course, when we come across the line. And now Hackison just grimly holding on to the lead. In fact, he's going for the lead down the inside of David Baker. Fluke going to try and hang it around the outside now.
Yeah, trying something a little bit different. Janowski just on the conventional inside line as well is going to get a good run. Simmons gets a great exit too. With definitely 5 cars going to go for this once again. Janowski up the inside. Looks like Hackison had to concede the position. Into Fluke a little bit. Fluke runs wide. He's going to form up at the back of this pack, but he'll still be there.
Hackison tried to get past David Baker, but then he saw Janowski was going for it. Baker had a moment of his own going through turn 3. He got sideways, and that's what's allowed all these guys to come back together again heading into turn 1 and 2. Janowski now going for the lead this time. Hackison the one using that outside line. It was Fluke that was doing it a lap ago. Fluke keeping a watchful eye in 5th. Kip Stevens arriving on the scene in 6th as well, and Baker was covering the inside. He hasn't covered the outside, and that's what allowed Hackison to just emerge out of nowhere there off of turn 2. Janowski down the inside. He's later on the brakes than Baker. He forces Baker just a little bit high through turn 3 and 4. We're going to go 3 wide there through turns 3 and 4 to go back onto the front straight to start lap 19. And here comes George Simmons. Simmons coming out of nowhere as well, and so is Jamie Fluke and Kip Stevens there for good measure as well. 4 wide nearly into turn 1. How close is that in race 3 here of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship Winter Series, powered by iRacing? Off of turns 2. How's this going to work out? 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Hackison's got a fantastic run, Alex.
Yeah, it's just he's up top. He's ahead going into what will be 3 and 4, but he'll lose that just a little bit. Tries to swing around the outside. Janowski settles back in, and they're 2x2 now. Hakkisen couldn't quite carry the momentum. Will he have enough speed coming out of the corner? It's got a good run. Not sure it's going to be enough though.
On to lap 20 of 25. Less than 7 laps to go here. Round the outside goes Hakkisen, 2x2 now. Wasn't as crazy as it was a lap ago. Julian Janowski on the inside. Ben Hakkisen will get his usual catapult, I think, off of turn 2. Yes, he will. Look how much speed he gets. He just disappears off up there. And we're looking at David Baker with Janowski behind him. 3 cars on the outside as opposed to 2 on the inside. We'll see how that works going into turns 3 and 4. More smoke up in front. I don't know who that is as a result of. Off of turn 4, Hackisen's got the run on the exit. If this was a run to the finish, we'll see who would get the win. 1/10 of a second was the gap as they came across the line between first and second. 7 thousandths of a second that was last time, and it was David Baker who was just in front. Into turns 1 and 2 once again, lap 21. 5 laps to go, less than 6 laps to go, sorry. Off of turn 2. Hakkisen once again is going to get that good run, and now 3 wides between Fluke, Janowski, and now Stevens is thinking about a move into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, where are they all going to settle themselves in? Oh, and I think that's why Kip just pulled himself out of that one. Wasn't too confident going into that slightly tighter of the 2 turns.
3x3, and
Simmons
Dan Kraft
actually has to brake down the straight there
Yeah.
to avoid Fluke. Fluke goes through the middle of Hakkisen and Janowski there.
Off of turn 2, Hakkisen is going to be on the outside, but he's going to have Fluke there, and I thought Fluke was about to turn into Janowski then, but here comes Kip Stevens, and Dan Kraft is about to join the scene as well, so we've got 7 cars now battling for the lead. It's just ever increasing, 4 wide into turn 3, and Janowski and Fluke have a little bit of contact there. Simmons was on the inside, he got out of it sensibly. Off of turn 4, onto lap 23 now of 25. 3 laps to go in race 3 of the evening, and this is probably one of the best ones yet of the evening. Into turn 1, Jamie Fluke on the inside, Hakkisen on the outside, as you were from a few laps ago. George Simmons there on the outside with Kip Stevens following him. Dan Kraft on the inside line as well. Off of turn 2, Janowski hanging in there as well in 4th. Down the back straight towards turns 3 and 4. We're going to be on lap 24 and 2 laps to go when we get back to the line. Hakkisen still trying to make it work on the outside. I wonder if his tyres are just starting to fall away because he's not making that outside line work as effectively as he was earlier in the race. Look at Jamie Fluke cutting to the inside there. Baker's not going to be able to cut him off in time, and Fluke's going to have the inside line into turn 1 and the race lead through turns 1 and 2. Hakkisen still on the outside there. Janowski on the inside. Kip Stevens trying to force a way through in the middle. We'll see what they're able to do off of turns 2 because these 2 are side by side. Fluke and Baker, they make a little bit of contact there, Alex.
Yeah, Baker just trying to squeeze Jamie down low, I think. He knew he couldn't. Oh,
Oh my
Janowski
word.
on the outside. Just drifts up a little bit. Hakkisen gives him a little bit of a bump. And they're 4 wide.
Oh, Janowski.
They're going to survive, I think, just.
That's ruined Ben Hackisen's race, so he was forcing a way around the outside the entire race. He's now dropped off this pack. He is now down to 8th position, so Ben Hakkisen, who was my pick for the race, looks like he's unfortunately out of it, but it's not over. We're on the final lap of the race. Jamie Fluke and David Baker at it again for the 3rd race in a row for the race win. Off of turns 2, down towards turn 3 and 4 for the final time here. Baker on the inside, Fluke on the outside. Don't forget we've got those 3 behind. They could form a surprise maybe in the final few corners. Down the inside we go into turns 3 and 4. It's the other way around from the last lap in race 2. Baker on the inside, Fluke on the outside, off of turn 4. It's going to be a photo finish. Is it going to be as close as Daytona? It's not. David Baker is going to stop Jamie Fluke's run of wins. He takes the race 3 victory at Twin Ring Motegi. 1/10 of a second in it. David Baker is able to get the win. Jamie Fluke 2nd, Kip Stevens 3rd, Dan Kraft 4th, and George Simmons in 5th. Wow, what a race, Alex.
Yeah, great race in there all round. 3-4 wide in places, and there was, half of the track was still available. Great driving from them. No, major contact there as well. Hakkisen just a little perhaps disappointed in that final lap there. He was up top trying to make that work. Janowski steamed in there, and I can understand Julian. I think he wants a win. He's had great pace here as well, so he tried everything on those closing laps to get towards the front, but it didn't happen again. And this time Baker able to hold off in that final turn. Sorry, there were other races going on. We're just watching the drivers come around, but that was so good. We just needed to talk about that.
Something happened to Andrew Woodhouse, I think, on the final lap of the race. He was 7 seconds behind the lead going into it, but something happened, on the final lap of the race. There was a big wreck in front involving a Laser Tools car of Scott Malcolm, who was up front, actually, for the first third of the race. What happened? Oh, it was a Pete Newman media car turning around Andrew Whitehead going on to the final lap of the race. It was Pete Newman, in fact, turning around Whitehead. Scott Malcolm involved, Steve Richardson involved, Lee Berridge, quite a few cars. And then Andrew Woodhouse, what's going to happen to him? He's going to emerge on the scene.
Oh, just having a look at it now on replay.
Bang.
Oh yeah, heavy incident. Oh yeah, and Woodhouse there just couldn't stop. The car was just in his lane. He's able to limp it back home, but yeah.
And of
I
course,
couldn't say anything.
Yeah, it just looked like
Blew
a whole
the
bunch
engine
of
as
smoke.
well. Couldn't even limp it round.
Oh, unfortunate.
Richard Gore did finish the race, so he's going to be the Pro-Am Series champion for the British Sim Racers Touring Car Winter Series. And he was able to get it after, of course, leading the Pro-Am standings for a little while in the Pro Series, but unfortunately it didn't go his way in the end there. So both the championships are settled. Don't know what's going on in terms of the safest driver. That'll probably still go over to the final race. Tristan Bottas apparently is leading now. I don't know if that's still right, but we'll run you through the finishing order then. On the third race of the evening, just one more to go in the season after this. David Baker then takes the win. Jamie Fluke was going for 3 in a row, just wasn't his last lap. Jamie Fluke in second, Kip Stevens third, Dan Crafts at fourth, fifth George Simmons, only 0.02 of a second actually separating Dan Craft and George Simmons in the end. How close is that? Sixth Jack McIntyre, seventh Julian Janowski, eighth Ben Hackerson, after having such a good race, just unfortunately hit Julian Janowski and that ended those two's fights for the front. 9th Simon Field, 10th Pete Newman, 11th Lee Berridge, 12th Andrew Whitehead, 13th Jay Wright, 14th Steve Hefford, 15th Jonathan Taylor, 16th Nick McCarron, 17th Nathaniel Simpson, 18th John Roberts, 19th was Laura Bond and 20th Max Wright, 21st was Richard Gore, the Pro-Am Series champion, 22nd Jason Rowe, 23rd Scott Malcolm, and then the cars one lap down or more. Steve Richardson 24th, 25th Andrew Woodhouse, 26th Alex Smolensky, 27th Rob Plumley, 28th Robert Graham, 29th Colin Cunniff. Jerome Kaiser involved in an incident for the second race in the row in 30th. Him and Paul Smith were both involved there. And then Cesare Rizzo finished 32nd. And 33rd was Craig McLeod Evans.
Great race, more of the same for the final one, let's hope. It's going to be tough to top that, I have to say. That was brilliant.
Definitely right up there with the race at Silverstone earlier on in the season. And of course, we've seen some great races since then. And of course, the Pro Series starting in just a few weeks. We'll be at the Phillip Island circuit in Australia getting ready for that. But of course, we've still got one more race to go here at Twin Ring Motegi. Let's have a look at the cars that are eligible for the reverse grid for the final race of the season. As always, 16th down to 26th, or we've got a full. Don't know whether it includes the cars that are one lap down. In that case, it would be Alex Smolensky, but if it's not, it'll be Scott Malcolm that gets that full reverse grid pole. But the cars that are eligible are Nick McCarron, Nathaniel Simpson, John Roberts, Laura Bond, Max Wright, Richard Gore, Jason Rowe, Scott Malcolm, Steve Richardson, Andrew Woodhouse, and Alex Smolensky. So let's see who gets that pole for the final race of the season.
Here we go then for the final time in the Winter Series.
Richard Gore will be 21.
Oh, it is. We didn't get it very often this season, but we've had it twice in one night. It's a fault.
Well, this throws it up then. It's either going to be Alex Smolensky or Scott Malcolm. I don't know if the organisers count cars that are one lap down. They still classify them. They still get championship points if they finish a lap down. We'll see if that.
I think it is point scorers.
It's point scorers, yeah.
So that will put Alex Smolensky on pole position, Andrew Woodhouse in second, which will please him greatly. Steve Richardson third, Scott Malcolm fourth, and Jason Rowe in fifth.
It will please me until the race starts, anyway.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, you started pole at Montreal and was able to get a win there, but I don't know if it'll be different circumstances. Yeah.
A bit different here. We'll see what happens. It just seems to be the wrong place, wrong time. I got a hit on the rear. I don't know if you saw it. But I got quite a big whack on the rear, and it just ruined the rear wing, and I just had no straight line speed for this whole second half of the race. So it
Oh, yeah, I
seems
think
like
we saw
I've
that,
had-
It kept you pointing forward, mind you. It looked like it was
I had
going to
a
be
nice
tough
save.
to do that.
I did do a nice save, I must admit, but it's just frustrating. It's just really frustrating. You know, you see everybody, doesn't matter how good exit I got, they were just closing and closing and closing, and you have to then do some slightly risky defending to try to stop it. But oh well, never mind. It's a good thing to come out of it anyway.
Well, we've seen 35 fantastic races in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship Winter Series. What is going to happen in race number 36 at Twin Ring Motegi? Stay with us on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV as the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship concludes after the break.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, you know, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, you know, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. You know, it's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and you know, the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and every year I've come here, this being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
We've wanted to add Le Mans to iRacing for a long time, and we've really been working hard towards it for the last 5 years. But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race. So it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads. So when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph the track so that we can recreate it in iRacing. We work closely with the ACO to get essentially exclusive access to the facility and everything that we needed to get the laser scanning and photographic reference that we need to create the track. We were very fortunate to be at Le Mans at the most important time of the year and gain that experience of being there. And we're going to really do the best we can to put that into our work and making sure that the Le Mans and iRacing is the best Le Mans, the most exciting and accurate recreation of the track possible.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT Series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, you know, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, you know, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. You know, it's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and you know the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and you know every year I've come here, this being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
We've wanted to add Le Mans to iRacing for a long time, and we've really been working hard towards it for the last 5 years. But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race. So it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads. So when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV. This is the final race of the season here in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by iRacing. We're at Twin Ring Motegi for the final race here, and as you can see, darkness has descended and we've got most of the floodlights on. Alex Simpson joining me here. It's not the most well-lit track in the oval in the world, is it?
Well, no.
Yeah.
But we've got headlights, it's fine, it's not going to be a problem. The, you know, I think the main straight, and then I think a little
It's
bit
alright for
into
you to
3
say
and
that.
4. Yeah.
They're useless.
You drive the car, you're not well enough to
Awful.
commentate, it's fine.
Awful. Bad headlights. Bad floodlights and bad headlights. Deal with it.
I think it's fine. Once the pack's all out there and running around, there'll be plenty of light out there.
Well then, let's have a look at the grid then for the final race of the season. Alex Malensky is on pole position after 26 cars were reversed. Andrew Woodhouse there on the front row of the grid. Steve Richardson in 3rd, Scott Malcolm in 4th, 5th Jason Rowe, 6th Richard Gore, 7th Max Wright, 8th Laura Bond, 9th John Roberts, and rounding out the top 10 is Nathaniel Simpson, 11th Nick McCarron, 12th Jonathan Taylor, 13th Steve Hefford, 14th Jay Wright, 15th Andrew Whitehead, 16th Lee Berridge, 17th Pete Newman, 18th Simon Field, 19th Ben Hackerson, and 20th it is Julian Janowski. Jack McIntyre 21st, 22nd George Simmons, 23rd Dan Crafts, 24th Kip Stevens, 25th Jamie Fluke, 26th our race 3 winner David Baker, 27th Rob Plumley, 28th Robert Graham, 29th Colin Cunniff. Rounding out the top 30 it is Jerome Kaiser, 31st Paul Smith, 32nd Cesare Rizzo, 33rd it is Craig McLeod-Evans. Alex, it doesn't matter where we put them on the grid, they always seem to end up at the front by the end of the race, so my pick I think is going to be between Jamie Fluke and David Baker. I think Fluke will take race 4 win.
I reckon Janowski's going to have this one. He's got to come from the back as well, but he's shown great pace as well all race meeting, and I think it'd be a shame if he doesn't get himself a win tonight.
We'll see.
Deserves it.
We'll see if the flood of the darkness will add an extra curve to this race, because Andrew Woodhouse seemed to think so. We're half a lap away from going green.
Hope no one has epilepsy, because that was a little bit trippy. as they were going down the back straight, the way it was flickering with the catch fence there.
Here we go then, safety car leading them round. Andrew Woodhouse just staying back, maybe just to get a run off the corner. And Steve Richardson almost getting ahead of Woodhouse there before we get to the line. Here we go then, safety car is off, and for the final time this season, race 36 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is underway.
Yeah, good start from everybody there, no issues that we've seen.
It's turn one, Smolenski's already got a good advantage. We'll see if everyone's able to hold on through the first few corners here. Just a bit cooler than it was in the daylight. Off a turn 2, heading down the back straight for the first time, everyone seems to be a-okay. Smolenski straight away pulling out an advantage. We see the pole sitters do that traditionally in the opening few laps, but then it closes up straight away after that. Richard Gore going side by side with Scott Malcolm. Malcolm, who was involved in a crash late on in race 3, having a good start here, up in 5th place as a result of that reverse grid, fighting away with Laura Bond across the line to complete the first lap. Everyone just trying to sort each other out. Jason Rowe, Nathaniel Simpson there going side by side through turns 1 and 2. Richard Gore and Steve Richardson, they're going at it as well. Richard Gore's had a good start. He's already trying to get up inside the top 3 after starting in what was 6th place.
Richard also got nothing to race for now. He's got this championship, so he can go out there and have a whole load of fun in this race. And yeah, I'm not sure you'll call that fun, but still look good.
Yes, indeed, off a turn 4, Scott Malcolm's going to try and get the inside on him. He's got to try and cover it off from Laura Bond as well. Rowe and Simpson still going at it. Still no sign yet of the race 1, 2, 3 winners getting in. Smolenski's disappeared, I do believe, but I think he's going to appear back in a second. I think he did it a few races ago, what he's doing here, but for the people that are still showing up, Andrew Woodhouse is in second. Smolenski's back now. I think that's... Oh, he's gone again. This is going to be rather interesting for Andrew Woodhouse and Steve Richardson because they don't know where the race leader is. He's half a second in front, but he is back now, I do believe. Yes, he is. So, a few connection problems there for Alex Smolenski. This will allow Andrew Woodhouse and the like to close in on him. Richard Gore's dropping down the order now. He's down to 6th and 7th, battling away with Nathaniel Simpson, Alex.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there. It's just a bit tight for the moment, and yeah, Max Wright as well in and around that battle too. Looks like John Roberts is side by side with Berridge as well. So yeah, in the Nixon car there. So it's pretty tasty. I mean, 4.9 seconds covers the field at the moment. So
Simpson,
that's a lot of smoke.
Simpson and Gore got together along with Jason Rowe. That's what all happened there going into turn 3. Looks like they've all sorted each other out. No real contact, it was just side contact, and Andrew Woodhouse is going for the lead, and he's hit Smolenski. That wasn't in the script, and Steve Richardson's going to try and go around the outside. It looked like he was about to hugely benefit there, but it just didn't work out. Andrew Woodhouse then to the race lead. He leads the race here. Second place is Scott Malcolm. Malcolm though coming at a full head of steam here. Woodhouse, is he going to try and defend? He just moves down a little bit, but Malcolm has got the superior run going into turn 3 and 4. We'll see if Woodhouse can hang it out round the outside here on lap 5 of the race. Third, it is Steve Richardson. Fourth, Alex Smolenski. We'll see if Smolenski is able to work his way back up after that contact with Andrew Woodhouse. And look at that scene in the background. It's just a whole raft of cars coming towards the front.
Yeah, amazing shot there. There was, I'm not sure who that was. I think that was like 5, maybe 6 wide there. A couple of cars just came in, shot that we couldn't even see there as well. Crazy.
2 by 2 down the back straight towards turn 3 and 4. Woodhouse and Malcolm going at it. Same time, Steve Richardson and Smolenski going at it. Smolenski on the inside, and it is Richardson on the outside. Woodhouse is able to get clear of Scott Malcolm to complete lap number 6. But look at the guys that are coming in the background. 2 by 2, Jason Rowe and Richard Gore, I do believe, as we head across the line. Still no sign yet of the likes of Fluke and Baker to appear on the scene yet. We've only elapsed only 7 laps, but those Apex Racing Academy cars looking good. Richard Gore, Nick McCarron, those two in 6th and 7th. Jason Rowe 8th, 9th. It is Lee Berridge, and rounding out the top 10. It is Steve Hefford, 4 wide. Oh, and it's happened. Richard Gore gets hit, so does Lee Berridge, and he gets hit by one of the Wright brothers, and the Sim Racers car just misses that, fortunately. But yeah, that was going to happen. 4 wide going into turn 3, Alex.
Yeah, you can make 4 wide work, I think, through 1 and 2, but so difficult through 3 and 4. It's a lot tighter, and no one wanted to give out up there at all. They all wanted to steam in there, and yeah, unfortunately, poor Gore. And oh, here's something else as well that could be big.
Yeah, it is a big one, and it is John Roberts. And Pete Newman as well. Pete Newman's off in the infield, so's Max Wright, but I think that's just him getting going after there's a Eurochip digital car kit. Jerome Kaiser. Jerome Kaiser involved in his 3rd wreck in a row in 3 races. Not good for him to end his season after taking that win at Silverstone. Down the front straight though, Woodhouse and Malcolm Smolensky joining in as well. We've got 3 cars battling for the race lead here. 4 of you include Steve Richardson. Malcolm on the inside, going to go for the lead. We'll see the run that Smolensky can get off the corner. Of course, got Malcolm and Smolensky, former teammates. They're not teammates anymore. Malcolm still at Laser Tools, but of course Smolensky gone back to Sim Racer for this season. Few big wrecks there. Now Malcolm's got a little bit of help from Smolensky. Smolensky, the typical oval racing bump and run move there. He's now through into 2nd place. 3rd is now Steve Richardson, and 4th is Laura Bonds. Laura Bonds coming onto the scene here to try and get up inside the top 3. So Malcolm losing a few places there after battling for the lead going into turn 1 a lap ago. Is just battling to stay within the top 5, Alex.
Yeah, just having a quick look at who is out after that lap. We've got Rizzo out, Max Wright out, Richard Gore, John Roberts, Jonathan Taylor, Andrew Whitehead, Pete Newman, Kaiser and Evans also disconnected as well. So all of a sudden it was crazy racing, really close, and then yeah, boom, load of drivers out. Just want to pick up sorry Adam, Laura Bond. She has done all 4 races tonight, so that does mean that she has competed in 300 races in the BSRTC. Pretty impressive stat.
Jamie Fluke up to 7th place, David Baker up to 12th. So Jamie Fluke's got up a bit quicker than the race 3 winner, David Baker. But meanwhile at the front, Smolensky's now going for the lead with Andrew Woodhouse. These two had contact the last time they were battling for the lead a few laps ago. Woodhouse going to try and hang it around the outside. Ben Hackerson's been doing that throughout the races tonight to a reasonable success. If it wasn't for the contact with Janowski at the end of race 3, they're going to be side by side across the line. Who's going to lead this lap, I wonder? It is Alex Smolensky by 0.08 of a second. Tight margins once again here at Twin Ring Motegi. And Steve Richardson now going down the inside, Alex.
Yeah, Richardson got a great run through there as well, and tucked up right in the draft as well. Woodhouse will want the toe from Smolensky, but he's still up top at the moment. Richardson pushing Smolensky down that back straight, trying to get clear. Andrew throws a load of speed into that corner, runs up very, very high. If you can get the car to bite, it should be alright. That's a great move. There's the line, just absolutely right round the outside. Simmons follows him around as well. They've gone from 3rd and 4th to 1st and 2nd. What a great move. That's where the grip is in that corner, apparently.
Hackerson was able to get it work, but I don't think he got it in race 3. I don't think he got it to work with such success as Andrew Woodhouse just did there. But Smolensky's coming back off of turn 2. Woodhouse running the outside line. We'll see if he's able to use it to such great effect this time. We're going to go Simmons 3 wide into turn 3. Simmons this time in the middle with Smolensky pinned down on the bottom there. Malcolm coming back as well. Jamie Fluke joining the action in 6th. David Baker, he's in 12th about 10 seconds ago. He's now up to 8th place.
Yeah, how quickly it can all change. A little trailing group that Baker's in, we can just see that in the background. It's about 0.6 of a second back, so should be able to catch on to the back of Bond, Fluke, Richardson here.
Simmons and Woodhouse, we've got past the halfway mark of the race on lap 14 now. Woodhouse still trying to hold on to the race lead, but Simmons has got the inside, and Smolensky's going to try and make it 3 wide once again going into turn 3. Simmons going straight to the bottom, completely surprising there. Alex Smolensky. Woodhouse continuing to carry on that outside line, going out wide off of turn 4. Here comes Jamie Fluke down the inside. We're going to be 3 wide here. David Baker joining in on the action as well. Laura Bond there on the outside. Fluke down the inside of Malcolm into turn 1, and that is Fluke up to the top 4 after 15 laps, after starting in 25th place, after finishing 2nd in race 3. And winning the opening 2 races of the night. Smolenski side by side with Andrew Woodhouse. Battle over second. George Simmons out in front, but for how much longer? 3 wide. Woodhouse trying to forge a path through the middle there. Oh, and they all hit each other. George Simmons, Alex Smolenski and Andrew Woodhouse. Woodhouse carries on, but who's that into the lead? Guess who? It's Jamie Fluke.
Yeah, Jamie, did you see that all unfold, and just it was like the parting of the sea there for him, and straight up into first Scott Malcolm. Oh, they're still battling pretty hard out there though. This isn't over yet by any means.
Smoke! Steve Richardson
just about holds on to it. He's going to lose a lot of momentum out there though.
It's going to allow Woodhouse and Laura Bond through. George Simmons and Scott Malcolm now battling for the race lead. Malcolm, who's been in the lead group in race 2, I do believe, and now he's doing it again in race 4. So Malcolm has got some genuine pace underneath him. Andrew Woodhouse fighting back here, trying to get past David Baker, but he's gone very wide through turns 3 and 4. He's going to lose some momentum off of turn 4, and that's going to allow Laura Bond to try and close in, along with the eye-glazing car of Ben Hackerson, who was battling for the lead in race 3. Into turns 1 and 2 on lap 17. This race has gone by very quickly. George Simmons has got a little bit of a gap now, 6/10 of a second in front of Scott Malcolm in second. In fact, it's Jamie Fluke leading, half a second in front of George Simmons. Third, it is Scott Malcolm. Fourth, David Baker. 5th, Andrew Woodhouse. 6th, Laura Bond. 7th, Ben Hackerson. 8th, Steve Richardson. 9th, Alex Smolenski. And rounding out the top 10, it is the other sim racer car of Steve Hefford, along with Kip Stevens there in 11th place. So sim racer cars all up inside the top 10.
It's interesting actually, we're just on board with Baker, and he's got a little bit of grime on his windscreen, and you just forget about that. Once the night comes down, the floodlights are on and the headlights are out there as well. It's not the best of vision that these drivers have got right now, so just makes it a little bit tougher closing laps of this race.
Andrew Woodhouse was telling us, of course, that this track wasn't very well lit, even with the Kia Optima headlights and the floodlights trying to help, of course. Simmons and Fluke going for the lead down into turn 3. Simmons goes in very deep. He slides the car just a little bit, and Fluke's going to get the cut back down the inside. He goes off a turn 4, and he's going to return to the race lead. But David Baker's arrived on the scene. There's bit of contact there in the background. Ben Hackerson looked way out of shape on the exit of turn 4, but David Baker and Jamie Fluke, they're going at it, but they've got George Simmons in the way here. George Simmons in a Fluke Baker sandwich. See if George Simmons is able to hold on with these lot. In 4th, best of the rest, it is Scott Malcolm, Laura Bond and Andrew Woodhouse. Bond forcing Woodhouse out wide there. Laura Bond having a pretty good 300th race here in the BSR TC.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that they can close back into Scott Malcolm, and Malcolm can drag them up to Baker as well, because that was a great battle for the moment, but it's all spread out all of a sudden, so let's have at it. We want to see a nice 5-car battle for the end. I say 5-car, if they get back up to this front, it's going to be about a 10-car battle, because look at that group that's behind.
10 laps to go, less than 6 laps to go on lap 20 here. David Baker still not able to get any way past George Simmons.
Maybe this time just jinks straight down to the bottom. Does get that run, throws it into turn 3.
And he's going straight for Jamie Fluke. This is fantastic here. David Baker down the inside of Jamie Fluke. Fluke won race 1 and race 2. David Baker won race 3. Can he get a race 4 win? These two dominating proceedings here at Twin Ring Motegi. Over the line onto lap 21. Fluke had the lead. David Baker had the lead at the line by 0.02 of a second. We're still yet to see a finish less than 1.
Right, we need to, Adam, we need to go back a few laps now, and we need to give these guys a bit of a recap with what's gone on, because we missed everything with the blue screen of death with 5 laps to go. think. Yeah, I'm just trying to look to see who's right, okay, so Jamie's still on track right now. Okay, here we go then.
This from.
Here we go. Right, sorry guys, we are back. Been crazy trying to get everything sorted while we do that. Just to point out, we will have it on the Motors TV show. It didn't kill both the PCs, just the once. So this is just before we had the blue screen of death on the streaming machine. Adam, I can't tell you where we are actually, so you're gonna have to just leave me to it. But that was just a little contact between Baker and Fluke going into turn 3 and 4. Simmons got the run, then out of there, and I'm pretty sure it was the next lap where it all went crazy. Into 1 and 2, no issues there at all. Baker still there. These three pretty much broke clear. It was going to be a 1, 2, 3 guaranteed for them.
Yeah, Fluke gets a good run off the corner there, and yeah, it's close there, trying to see if they're going to forge their way through.
You can see Simmons up the inside, and they just make contact, and then unfortunately they just get stuck together, hit the wall hard, and then of course poor Jamie's motor's gone, and everybody just comes steaming in there. There's nothing anyone can do, and yeah, we are toast.
This leads Baker, meaning he has the lead over Ben Hackerson going on to the penultimate lap of the race, with Scott Malcolm third side by side with Kip Stevens and Andrew Woodhouse at this moment. But then those two hits heading into turns 1 and 2. Scott Malcolm and Andrew Woodhouse hit each other. Woodhouse carries on. He's able to limp home in the end after this, but that was the secondary incident that occurred after that. Baker, of course, was out on his own after this. He came round to start the final lap. He had a good second or so lead over Ben Hackerson, and by the time they came back to the line, he was able to take his second win in a row and his second win of the evening at Twin Ring Motegi.
I've got to apologise to Alex then, because it wasn't him, it was Scott the second time. So I just crashed into cars with Scottish flags on. What can I say? 3 races.
Right, let's bring Dave down here and have a quick chat with him. Well done, Andrew, mate. I think you had pretty impressive nights running, considering you hadn't done too much in the car for a little bit. So
I think oval suits me in general, anyway, because it means my lack of talent's masked somewhat. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you later.
Yeah, cheers, man. Let's bring Baker in first.
Baker.
Hopefully Jamie will jump in here in a minute and we can talk to, as will Richard Gore as well, because I want to talk to both the champions if we can. But first up, Mr. Baker.
Hello, guys.
What's with this? 2 wins?
I have no idea where it's come from.
Second place. Yes. What a night! It's got to be your highest point scoring night ever, surely.
Yeah, probably. I mean, up until last week, I'd never got 2 races in a single meeting. Now I've done that again. I always thought I'd be strong round here from the way the car was last season. Ashley Baker Hood put together a great setup, but the racing's just been on an absolutely another level tonight. It's been fantastic.
So yeah, a second, a 6th, a first and a first.
Yeah, if I hadn't I'm annoyed about that 6th place. I know I like to get 6th, but I'm annoyed that I blew it because there could have been podiums in every single race. But if that had happened, who knows how the other ones would have turned out.
It will make the championship a little bit closer on the point standing, at least, anyway, at the end there.
Yeah.
Won't seem like a complete runaway victory in the end. And
119 points it was in the end.
Yeah, there you go. So
rue some of those DNFs earlier on in the season, but hey, that's how it goes.
One of those, yeah, take one off and it completely changes the way the championship could form out as well, because of, there's that much more pressure when the points are closer. So
yeah, and Jamie has put on a fantastic sort of challenge for the title this year. He hasn't really put a foot wrong, so congratulations to him. It was truly deserved.
Well done, David. 2 races. I know we're going to see you back for the Pro Series.
Definitely.
What's the thoughts? Just for that, plans, team, everything all sorted in place. Looking forward to it.
All sorted, all in place. Very much looking forward to it. I think I finished second ever since I won the championship. I finished second every time. second in the regular season, third in the showdown. So if I can do anything like that again, I'll be more than made up. But I think it's going to be another epic season, and I just can't wait to get started.
Awesome. Thanks, David.
Thank you very much, guys.
Great to hear from David Baker there. Now, let's get in your Pro Series champion for the Winter Series, and that is Jamie Fluke. Jamie joins us now in the commentary box. Jamie, a win, a second place, and a retirement. It wasn't all bad, but you are the champion for the Winter Series. Congratulations.
Well, hey, thank you very much. I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy.
It's you wanted that. You were talking about the points quite early on in the season, keeping a little eye. You knew exactly what you needed to do, and the last few races, I think you perhaps felt like you weren't able to race like you wanted to, but you had good old bash out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely at Road Atlanta. I think you even made a comment yourself that I was sort of half looking at moves, but wasn't really committing to them, just sort of backing out at the last minute. But yeah, tonight I just had a blast with it, and I think I finally got to show what I could really do, in terms of attacking racing.
Next season, go on, Alex.
No, I was just gonna say, just talk us through that last race there as well, because it was just unfortunate more than anything, wasn't it? Just you guys got stuck together, nothing you could do.
Yeah, nothing I could do at that point, and of course, yourself, I'm on a single screen, so I couldn't really make a last minute decision to sort of, try and avoid him if possible. I was sort of like, okay, well, that's the turn-in point for 3 wide, and hopefully it works, and just, I think he ran it ever so slightly deep, and I might have turned in slightly early, and that's, there wasn't much room for error there, but the drive up to that point was pretty good, so I can't complain too much, and I've got the series wrapped up as well.
Last season you were with No Homes Digital. This season you're now racing at the Apex Racing team in the Pro Series, which gets underway in a few weeks' time. What are your thoughts on that move to the team that won the Pro Championship last season with Sebastian Joe?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think Sebastian's racing next season, so a little bit
First
of a...
5.
Oh, he's doing the first 5? Okay, but... yeah, unfortunately, he'll not be there for the full season, but yeah, looking forward to representing Apex moving forward in pretty much every car that I race now.
And your Pro Series aspirations, where do you think you can get this season?
I'm honestly not sure. There's a few guys to come back in, obviously. Wodge to come back in, Jimmy Rushworth to come back in, Chepelevsky, Dan Hunt. So there's a few really, really strong guys, but... I'd like to think I can make it into the showdown, and once we get that far, hopefully, if I'm there, I think anything really can happen at that point.
And just before we let you go, what was your favourite race meeting of the Winter Series?
I have to say tonight. Yeah, tonight definitely, because I could sort of really race to the best of my ability and really have a lot of fun with it, whereas every race sort of beforehand I was still pushing, I was still taking chances where I could, but I felt that I could really have fun tonight, and I definitely did. Alex, anything for Jamie?
No, really, just to sort of say, congrats again, mate. Tough whole season. Technically, it's your first full season in the BSR TC as well, so you must take some pride in winning what is your first full season. I mean, just awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
You hadn't thought about it that way, had you?
No, I haven't.
You've done a lot of races in the Pro Series beforehand, and you just think, wow, yeah. I mean, take some of the older seasons, you've probably done 2 or 3, but yeah, still a job all season long, and did exactly what you needed, so congrats, mate.
Okay, Jamie Fluke, thanks for talking to us. Well done on the championship. We'll see you for the Pro Series in a few weeks.
It's been a pleasure. Catch you later.
Yeah, I've got him. Richard Gore joins us as well, our AM champion. Congrats, Richard. Just tell us how you're feeling right now.
Pardon, what was that, Alex? Sorry?
I said just tell us how you're feeling right now.
Oh yeah, really good. Definitely makes up for missing out on the AM Championship last season in the Pro Series, so it's definitely makes up for that a little bit. But I'd just like to say as well, thank you to you, Alex, and the Apex Academy, because I've definitely learnt a lot since joining the Academy and the team last season. So thank you for that, and thanks to all the organisers and you guys for broadcasting as well.
Yeah, thank you. Just talk about that race meeting right there. That that third race there, it looked like you were just tottering around at the back, just locking down the championship. Am I right there?
I was a little bit. I thought I'm not going to mess about because, as Rob Plumley found out, it doesn't take much for you to get 3 DNFs in a row, and you find yourself 3rd or 4th in the championship in the end. So I thought I'd just take it easy, and then in the 4th one, I just dropped the wing down and went hell for leather and wrecked. So oh well.
Yeah, you got to have a blast, haven't you? Go
Yeah,
out in style.
I'm not great at ovals, so it's nice to get through it.
Of course, moving forward and looking towards the Pro Series, you're back again. Do you know where you sit as far as class next season? Going to be AM, or are they going to bump you up?
I was told AM, I think, so I think I'm staying with AM for next season, as far as I know.
So you must obviously be thinking there's an opportunity for yourself there. It was close last season, you just need to go that one better.
Yeah, I think I just finish more races. If the Pro Series goes the same route as the Winter Series and has the no quit repairs, I think that just gives it a totally different element, really. It's all about, well, finishing the races. So if it goes like that, then hopefully I'll have a decent chance. I think we've got quite a good team actually going into next season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. Adam, you got anything for Richard?
No, not really. Congratulations on the Pro-Am Championship, Richard. We were asking Jamie Flute this question, but could you pick out a best race meeting of the Winter Series?
Oh, off the top of my head, I can't remember. Brands Hatch was pretty good for me. The opening one was pretty good. But apart from that, I can't really pick one out.
Yeah, Brands Hatch, I think, great way to start the season as well, and really set the tone for the Pro-Am Championship going forward. Just saying to Alex there, do you think your aspirations are to go for the Pro-Am Championship again this season then?
Yeah, definitely. My main thing is I want to keep getting the top 15 and getting away from that reverse grid pole because it's getting a little bit embarrassing.
Definitely. Well, Richard, thanks for talking to us. Well done on the Pro-Am Championship, and we'll see you for the Pro Series in a few weeks.
Yep, thank you very much, guys.
Cheers, Rich.
Well, Alex,
Right.
that brings it all to an end. Fantastic season of British Sim Racer Touring Car Racing.
It is. And I am gonna. Sorry, Adam. I am gonna quickly talk to a couple of other guys, but we're gonna speed through as well, as they've been waiting patiently. Let's start off with Andrew Whitehead. Andrew, welcome to the comms booth, mate. We're wrapping the show up pretty rapidly, so just tell us how your night went, how your season was, and what you're looking forward to for the Pro Series.
The season was great fun, absolutely brilliant. I like this 4-race format, brilliant for this short season. Mediocre throughout in terms of performance. I only really had a 50% finish rate on most nights, but it's more of a fun series, so I don't think we're all taking it quite as seriously all the time. But tonight was brilliant. I had 3 finishes within the top 13, and then a should we call it a mistake by one of my teammates for the Pro Series cost me a finish in the final race when I was in the top. No, I wasn't. I dropped back a little bit, but I was making my way through. So yeah, good. It's really enjoyable. I don't like ovals normally. I always kind of think it's a bit monotonous.
This one's quite unique, though. I think it's very, the 2 corners are very different from each other. So
yeah, and I think
let's spice it up.
The Kias they really do lend themselves to oval racing because they're very fast. They're a little bit unpredictable if you just get on the brakes at the wrong time or out of the gas at the wrong time, and it makes for actually very, very exciting racing. And watching back on, I think it was race 4 because I was out. They're like 3, 4, 5 cars wide, lap after lap after lap, and it's brilliant to watch. Great to drive as well, actually.
Well done on a good meet, and then Andrew, anyone want to give a quick shout out before we let you go and talk to Ben?
Yeah, we've secured a deal with as you know, we've sort of assembled 3 teams for the coming season. We're all going to run independently, but do a little bit of collaborative work on setups and what have you. So We've got one team lined up with Eurochip Digital, another with Nixim Race Simulations, and the other one with Engine Oil Direct. So it's nice to see that Eurochip and Engine Oil are staying with us, and I'm glad to have Nixim on board. So yeah, great. Looking forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Sorry to rush it through and cut it a bit short, but yeah, enjoy your week off, and we'll see you back for the Pro Series.
See you soon. Thanks, guys. Good job.
Cheers.
Cheers. And next, let's get Ben Hackison into the commentary box. And it was a good race 4 for you, Ben, but it could have been so much more in race 3. You were up at the front right until the end. It was just a bit of contact with Janowski going on to the final lap.
Yeah, that was a bit disappointing. I felt I could have run away at the start. I just made a huge mistake and got dragged back into the pack. But hats off to Jamie and David today. They were outstanding.
You're unfortunate in, was it the 3rd race where you were looking good and then dropped back, and you had good pace all race meeting long, but just really struggled to get to the front spot. Like you say, those guys were really quick and just stole the show. I mean, anything you could have done different out there, do you think, in any of those races?
Well, not crashing the first 2 races. That would have helped. But I don't think it was really what I did wrong. I think everyone else was preferring the inside, and I didn't really have any help from behind or in front on the outside, and I much preferred the outside on this track. So I was having to push very hard just to stay alongside, and eventually I got caught up in the pack, and then Janowski came across me, and then I almost caused a huge crash because I didn't realise Kip was on my inside. But at that point, we'd just lost the pack, and I think there was just 2 laps left anyway. So.
And obviously looking forward to Pro Series now this is over, obviously first sort of taste of some of the competition that's going to be in there next season. How do you think you're going to fare? I mean, I think you've looked really impressive actually all season long.
I think I've got to aim for the showdown now. I think I've put more pressure on myself doing quite well this season, but I don't see why I can't do it. It's just a matter of if my internet holds up, because I'm living in 3 different countries across the course of the championship, so that's going to be my biggest issue to start with. And it depends on whether we're getting fast repairs. I feel I'd be better with fast repairs.
Yeah, I'm still not sure yet. So I guess we'll find out a bit closer to the time. Congrats, Ben, on a good season, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time for the pros.
Thank you. You too.
Cheers. See you, Ben Hackison. Next in the commentary box, we get a whiz through and get who we not talked to yet. Paul Smith.
Just Paul Smith.
Paul Smith joins in the commentary
Last
box
but not
now.
least, of course.
Yeah,
Mr. Smith.
Got a pole position in race 2. However, unfortunately, that didn't work out. Just sum up for us your evening here at Twin Ring Motegi, Paul.
Lots of smoke, lots of crashing, but I did finish 2 of the races, so that was alright. And to be fair, that final race there, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but me, Rob Plumley and Rob Graham were just having an absolutely epic battle between the 3 of us. Everyone else had gone off up ahead, but we were having a fantastic race, and we were showing, that some of us are maybe not quite as quick as some of those front runners, can still have good, side by side racing. But this championship for me has just been a shocker, absolute shocker for me.
Yeah, I have to say it's been pretty unfortunate. However, you and me, we're going to be in the commentary box, I think, for the Kia Club Series, which starts in a few weeks. 20th of March, yes, indeed. That is that the week? Is that a few days after we've got the Pro Series underway? So, what are your aspirations for the Pro Series? First of all, we'll ask you that.
Well, Pro Series, I want to win the Amateur Championship, same as always, because I missed out. I had a poor showdown last season, and I'm working on things, getting a bit of practice in, and I think it's going to help being in this CQR Academy team. We're having people like Jamie Rushworth, Dave Baker to work with us to help us out, setups and how we're driving the tracks and that. So I think that's a really positive way forward for the team, and hopefully it'll help me out this season. If I don't end up winning the Amateur Championship, I'm just going to rage quit. Because it's this will be my fourth proper season in the BSR TC. It's about time I pulled my finger out and won the amateurs.
And then second question, the Kia Club Series. We always see great racing in that on the Sunday nights. Do you think we'll get more of the same next season.
Hey, I tell you what, if it's anything like last season with the 5 drivers in for the championship into that last round, we're in for a hell of a season. Okay, some of the drivers from that championship have moved up into the Pro Series this time, but you've got people on the conveyor belt coming into the series as well, and there's some quick drivers there. So it's going to be fantastic. We've got both champions as well in the same team, Magic Sakovic and Pete Harridan, the CQR team for them. So there's some really good, strong lineups, and it's going to be fantastic racing. I can't wait for it.
Most definitely indeed, yeah, of course, because the Kia Club Series, Sunday nights on Apex Racing TV, and I know the organisers are doing everything to make Season 3 just as exciting as the last 2 seasons, where in Season 1 the finish came down to the final corner, the final lap of the race. Alex, anything for Paul Smith?
No, not really, just to sort of say, let's see you bounce back for the pros next season. You missed out. You were unlucky last season. Just like you say, a couple of bad races. Looking forward to, of course, Kia Club again. Back, see what you guys do in the cons box. It's gonna be good. That's about it. So much Kia stuff going on, really, isn't there? That's the thing. It's crazy. Right. Thank you. Thanks, Paul.
No worries, guys.
And thanks for helping out as always in the in the background on all the other series. So we'll see you in the booth in a couple of weeks' time, and out on track as well.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Great to talk to Paul Smith there, and hopefully he has a better season than the Winter Series. It's been absolutely woeful. Well, we started the season with Ashley Sutton taking 2 wins at Brands Hatch 4. Jamie Fluke took his first of many wins throughout the season before heading to Laguna Seca. That crazy race meeting at Silverstone, where the finish was separated in race 2 by 1,000th of a second. Suzuka, then Zolder. Phoenix on the oval. We saw some great racing there with wins for Wojciech Savidovic there, I do believe. Yes, he is. He'll be back, of course, for the Pro Season 4. He wrapped up the title in Summit Point, Road Atlanta, and then here, back on the oval at Motegi. Alex, everyone's saying that Motegi was some of the best racing we had all year. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Great race meeting. Really enjoyed that. Even with the blue screen of death, with 5 laps to go on the final race of the season, I mean, you just couldn't ask for a worse timing, could you? But we did get it on the highlights recordings anyway, so they will be on Motors TV. So don't worry. After our initial reaction of crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we recovered and carried on and broadcasted the last 5 laps of the race, and then got it back at the end.
Well, I think that wraps it up then. Thanks to Andrew Woodhouse, of course, for covering all the other 32 races of the season. And we will be back for the Kia Pro, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Pro Series in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks today, I think. It's the first race meeting of the season from from Phillip Island in Australia. Thanks to Alex as well for doing the cameras, and thanks for watching, of course, on Apex Racing TV, iRacing, and on Motors TV. It's so long from Twin Ring Motegi. Thanks for watching the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, presented from iRacing.
Yeah, really looking forward to tonight. I think Motegi, what a great oval circuit. We've seen some great races here in the past, and I think tonight's going to be more of the same. 2 championships still up for grabs as well, so anything could go, anyone could win it. I'm really stoked for this. Oh crap. about it, mate. Actually, we've got it on YouTube. What we haven't got is those last 5 laps, unfortunately. Yeah. We'll have to see what they can make out of it.